Don't worry. TacoBytes is here to demystify the complex world of blockchain and provide you with the knowledge you need to stay informed. Our team of experts has scoured the web for the most reliable information, so you don't have to. With TacoBytes, you can have peace of mind that your decisions are based on the best information available.
GM. Hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 301. Man, it is Thursday, June 15th, 10:09 a.m. That intro went a little longer than we planned for, but hey, soft intro music, great way to start your morning. Have you had your coffee yet today? I have not. But with that being said, we are going to be talking about, I don't know if he's like the dumbest person in the world right now, thinking he's the smartest person in the world, or just the biggest cokehead puppet. I don't know. We're going to pull up a video, and we hope that you enjoy it as much as we do, and we have to find this video real quick because let's see here. There we go. The Prometheum Saga. So this literally come out that came out yesterday. As they literally sort of started as a Reg A in 2017, they rose $50 million, and then 2 years ago they raised another 15. Yet they haven't put out a single product. They were questioned the other day by the committee, and they don't even offer, Bitcoin or Ethereum to any of their customers. And one of the things that they were talking about is that they just sort of, I don't know, it basically, the way he was talking, it was like he was reading a prepared speech, and that was all that his lawyers would let him say. So they're sort of the entire piece right now. But one of the things that did see was this horrendous video yesterday. I'm trying to find it real quick. But where basically he was being questioned that, because what this came about from was Coinbase had sued, countersued the SEC, saying that no agencies, no businesses were being given a clear path, clear answer on what is a security and being allowed to do that. And so then the SEC turned around and said, oh, well, we just gave a license to, this is a moot charge. So because we just gave permission to a license to this company, and they're doing everything within the scope. And so, it just seems like this is one of those things where it's just full of more puppets. I'm flabbergasted, and I love this word this morning, flabbergasted by what was shown. And so I'm trying to find this video, but yeah, it's like there's so many great memes coming out on it, and so like we found it. Let's get this shown real quick. Boom. So this is what this is. All right, to pause it right there, just to give a little context. So initially, they wrote a letter in 2021 stating that there was no clarity, and the clarity was needed, and that they needed to be given direction so that they could know what they could do. And they named off a lot of the tokens that the SEC has both labeled as a security by proxy, as well as tokens that they're offering. One of the major ones that they're offering to their users is Filecoin, and the SEC in its latest case against or suit, not case, suit against Binance is that Filecoin is a security, yet they are selling it as not a security. So I just want to give a little context right there. So I'm going to be giving you all my little commentary here, because this gentleman, for those that are joining us on video and that can see this guy, and I forgot, I got to put the video in the Jumbotron. What a day. I forget that. This guy is one of he is just like silk shirt, tie, swaggered off to the side, individuals that I just I do not know. He's like repeating for verbatim something that has been like force fed into him, and his spray tan is running a little bit, so he is sweating, and I just I don't know if he has enough grease in his hair or what. And when he's saying not currently, he's like sticking his tongue in the side of his mouth and like just like throwing his mouth over to the side, like he's like, I was put here by someone, and I'm going to answer this exactly the way I was told to, and you can't get me for nothing. And like, there was an episode of Fox News, I think it was, where they had some scam artist that had made it past their filters or something like that, and that he was like selling protesters or something like that as a service, and like that guy had the same demeanor, that he's like, I can't believe I'm up here, like that I made it this far. My dad's going to be so proud of me. And so he knows that he's going to go off on a speech there, and he has a 5-minute window to talk. And so, these guys are coached to take up as much time as possible so that they can answer as little as possible. So they're given these speeches to sort of give in. We see a lot more representatives now, reclaiming time, basically not giving people a soapbox to grandstand on, and repeat the garbage that they're fed to pass on. And so, by stating, a walk, crawl, run approach, I thought you're supposed to crawl, walk, run, but I got to double check this, and I'll repeat this real quick. but I think he says walk, crawl, run. Oh, I'm wrong. He does say crawl, walk, run. All right. So that was, that was what I wanted to go over and find. And so it is the financial committee hearing, really sort of laid into Prometheum CEO Aaron Kaplan. But some of the things that have come out in the last 12 hours, 18 hours since that has made headlines, is that Promethean is the staff behind Prometheum has been behind two different frauds, staffed with a ton of SEC retirees and fintech retirees. So from FINRA. So it's just a really interesting piece that they go use that as the board to puppet that. Hey, look, we're allowing companies to trade, yet they're not allowed to trade anything that has any value, and anything that has any volume. So it's I said it yesterday. It's like being given a bear hunting license without being allowed to hunt any bears. So this is where we get back into that joke of things. And so my call to action today is to reach out to your local legislator, find, someone that you can reach out to, whether it's a Republican, Democrat, or independent, and shoot a tweet at them, send them a GM and ask them to support, true crypto regulation. If you're wanting to look for verbiage, look for your local blockchain government alliance account. There's a ton of them that are doing a ton of good things that have a lot of good verbiage to use, pre-made, and retweet it and at one of your local delegates, whether it is start small, at city level, bigger at state level, or government level, just asking them to read it or tweet at it. What's really hilarious is they have more interns doing reading for them on Twitter than we even realize. So you have a voice, please use it. Use it respectfully, and use it, use it. That's all I got to say. We can complain about all of these things, but if we don't actually do anything about it, and if we don't, that was U.S. Representative Mike Flood asking those questions. If we don't support those questions being asked, they're going to think that they might be on the wrong path. So if we support stuff like this, if we hail it as heck yeah, we like it, let's thank those people, and ask for more light to be shown on this situation, because what it really comes down to right now, we're looking at it as dollars and cents. When does it turn into data, personal data, and ownership of personal data? When does your personal data become a security and you'll no longer be allowed to trade your own data? Because that is where it falls into. If we look at the services that Filecoin provides, that's data transfer, storage. So if you cannot trade your data because your data is a security, what's next? I just want to point that out. That's one of those things where we need to think about these things. And what's really horrible is that while these some companies are being named, there's not blanket suits being put out. So it's picked and chosen who is targeted, who doesn't want to play ball, and we need, if the SEC had a blanket policy and sued every company that was doing this, it would at least have consistency and it would look transparent. Because it picks and chooses, you can clearly see favoritism. You can clearly see old boy mentality. And this is one of those things that really just sort of shoots us in the foot if we don't do something about it now. And you have a voice. Your voice can be heard. And I ask that you use it. That is sort of what I wanted to cover a bit on that. And so I just, there was a good piece. Let me see real quick. There was a breakdown. Let's see. All right. So here's the full thread from Matt Walsh. And we'll give a quick rundown of it. This Promethean storyline has got to be the strangest thing I've seen in a while in the industry. Has anyone actually looked into this? Beyond bizarre. Last month, in the midst of the SEC bringing cases on Coinbase, Gemini, giving the stiff arm to Robinhood and others, Prometheum gets approval for a first-of-its-kind special-purpose broker-dealer for digital asset securities. Then Prometheum CEO somehow gets a seat in front of Congress yesterday and starts reading off pre-written notes, clearly coordinating narratives with Democratic members of Congress or the SEC. This ATS absolutely will not work unless the project first registers the tokens with the SEC. There are currently no tokens registered with the SEC because the current regime is not viable for public blockchain networks. U.S. Representative Mike Flood hits the nail on the head with claims are utter nonsense. And Prometheum guys want us to believe that all L1s are securities and will need to come and trade on Prometheum. Not happening, but enter Prometheum chain. What is this you say? These guys have their own chain and a token. And that's, so a projected revenue stream piece is put out. And this was from 2017, pushed to be in like 2020, where they raised $50 million. None of this has come out yet, actually. None of these chains or tokens. So they already pre-sold to Chinese companies, to Wangxing, which is a CCP affiliate. According to PitchBook, Prometheum has raised $48.19 million and are required to file a Form D when they raise. Oddly, even in their early rounds, they used an investment bank to raise capital. Very rare for venture-backed startups at the early stage. They've paid in excess $1.5 million in sales commissions to a New Jersey-based outfit called Network One Financial Securities. And Network One Financial Securities has quite the regulatory track record, with over 18 regulatory counts against them, one civil event, and 4 arbitrations of misconduct. And Network One Financial is a China affiliated firm with an executive team that's just, yeah. And so other companies like Coinbase and Gemini have pursued BD and ATS paths. Those licenses under current SEC regs don't let you do much. The SEC is implying Prometheum path solves the regulatory clarity issues. So it's just really crazy that this is being a narrative pushed so quickly, so fast, and really scary in a way. But that's the bad news. Good news today in Twitter. I don't know if you guys follow very many musicians. Emily Lazar from Gala Music releasing a new soundtrack today. Emily Lazar has been doing in the music industry for 25 years. And, you know, she speaks at events worldwide on both blockchain and artist integrity, and how blockchain solves the dilemma of the doorman getting paid first and the drummer last, for musicians, and creating content and getting into the hands and reaches of fans directly, which pretty cool. I've been able to meet Emily a couple times. We actually have what's built into a sort of funny relationship out of, you know, my name being Taco, and there's someone that works for Gala whose name is Taco as well. And during NFT NYC, we had this funny moment where she had confused the two of us because she had just gotten off a flight across the country and stuff like that. And she's like, when is my drop tomorrow? Where do I have to be? Telling me like I was in charge of all of this. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, you work for Gala? And I'm like, no, I don't work for Gala. And she's like, oh my God, I'm like, you know, off my rocker right now. I don't know what's going on. I need to figure this out. So we separate ways. I tell her I will do everything I can to help find out what's going on. If a message had gotten miscrossed. And then not even a moment later, Taco from Gala walks up to Emily, you know, cameras on, like, you know, getting ready to do her interview and launch. And she's like, wait, you're Taco from Gala? And she's like, I just ran into Taco, but he said he wasn't from Gala. Who's doing my drop? And it was one of those hilarious moments. I actually got to meet Taco Gala at VCon when Gala Music was showcasing their Gala launch pad. And just want everyone to know, you do not have to go, you know, burn him down. He's an amazing guy. Really huge advocate for artists, creators, blockchain and infrastructure, and just a really cool guy. What was really funny is because of that, I actually got to make friends. I got to make friends with the founder of Gala Music, Bucks, and an amazing person, and you know, down to do spaces and talk about what Gala's building out. And then at the same time, got to meet a lot of the musicians that Gala is showcasing and doing some amazing things with. You know, Just Shockey, you know, really amazing guy. Had the stage during VCon, and actually got nominated by the public to do a collab with Jordan Sparks. And so, as Jordan Sparks was one of the headline performers during VCon, so that's just really cool, amazing connections there. So yeah, just made a really great day. So that's how we're going to lay off with the happiness piece there. And next we're going to go talk about Thirdland real quick, and we're going to go build a metaverse. We have one sort of started because we wanted to go land and make an account, make sure we were somewhat doing it right. Yeah, so from Third Land, we this is where you can find them, and building a Third Land for free today. We have we're gonna connect, sign a message, and we're gonna enter. So we're gonna go actually tour around and see what some other people have been building real quick, and all of their avatars, all of their wearables, and see what listings, because you can build it. As soon as you build it, you can sell it. Pretty cool there. We had some fun sort of playing around, and so there's 3Ds, 2Ds, and audios. One of the really cool things is that as soon as your NFTs, you can actually put them up in your metaverse. So let's go check this out real quick. We're gonna go visit this. We don't know what we're doing, and we're just so horrible at metaverse walking sometimes. So you can sort of see a little place here. Nice little maze. Let's see if we can get out of it. And I'm going to do the classic cheat with the maze. I'm just going to follow the wall, you know. I'm just going to always follow the left wall. Oh, we just walked through a wall. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but following the left wall or right just will always lead you to the exit. It doesn't matter where it goes. As long as you follow the left wall, you will eventually hit the exit. Oh. So that is what we are doing. Oh. As we walk through the wall. So there we go. And I don't even know if we are walking out of it or to the center, but we are just following the left wall. And as you can see, done as a good dead end. I wonder, can we break this third wall? Yep, we can. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what else we have here within Third Land. So we can enter in, we can design, and we can see. Let's enter. So this is one of the main touch points. You can sort of see what people have created as an art piece. You have different music sets. So, you know, it's one of those things to where it can be, if you're interacting with too many different things at once, you can get a little overloaded with sound. But they even made interactive pieces, you know, that it's pretty cool. So you can interact with it, you know, and this one's just to catch a bonk, which pretty cool. And it goes all the way until you don't catch a bonk. And so we're going to catch 15 real quick, just because every time we do this video, we got to break our previous record. And no, it does. I don't think it actually pays out bonk to win. That would be really cool. But this, and so as you can see, uh, you know, one of the pieces there within Third Land, some of the interactiveness that they have. Um, so let's see here. There we go. Um, Viewing out and stuff like that as we're looking at what sort of we've been building. Um, and so we've sort of put some pieces across different, you know, different things up and about. We put some interactive wall pieces up. And so you can sort of see what's going on. And as soon as you click on something, you can actually interact with the NFT art. You can send it, you can cancel. Um, you know, um, and you know, as you can see, there's some big art places. One of the things that's sort of cool here, um, uh, there's some good art gallery spots, you know, and as it's locked in, there's a couple different things you can see here. You can add in pieces. You can create, you can add in websites, you can add in portals. And you actually have to put in token hashes. And so that's a pretty cool piece to that. Let's see here. We can actually put in a website as well. And so let's put in Third Land's Twitter page. And all right, so we set. Oh, we have to go into an admin account. We can't do that right now. But we can sort of see what this has going on, and it can showcase us all the different pieces, you know, that have been put up, and that is going on. So we're gonna go over to our little Third Land, because you can see some of the different art pieces here. That, and we're gonna go to our land as well. Um, and let's see here. We're gonna go home. So here is our little Third Land. As you can see, oh, we actually have a guest here. No, we're not gonna kick our guest. So as you can see, we sort of did a couple little pieces real quickly, and we just want to showcase how easy it is to put different things up. So as you can see this, it is, we put in two different NFTs, and these are direct NFTs. Let's see. So as you can see, literally we pick out all of our NFTs, and we can pick between audio, 2D or 3D, worlds or virtual or objects. And so let's see here. What do we have as we'll wait for this to load out. This will be fun to place. But we're going to do some fun things real quick. We have we're going to place this. Let's see here. I think we need to go closer to place this. And then we can rotate it as well. So let's see here. We can scale this up bigger. Eight. What is a 4 at? All right, 0. And so we are going to, I don't think can we turn this? Snap. All right, so let's zoom out. Change that view piece so we can sort of see where it's at. And we're just going to make this wall right there. Yep, we're snapping it in play. So let's take snap off so we can float a little bit. Right there. We'll save changes. And we will see what, oh. So there's the, oh, all right. So we're going to have to rotate that again. Let's rotate that more. Edit. Let's see here. All right, there. Now it's on the wall. Let's see here. Nope, nope. That's a bad rotation piece there. There we go. All right. We edited that piece. And then let's see what else. I think we can port this video in directly. Let's see here. Let's see if this works. There we go. If that is a good feed, I think. Let's see here. All right. Let's snap on. Let's save changes. I don't know if that will work. All right. I want to edit that. All right. We got that. Now we can save changes. We are going to make a wall of NFTs. So let's see here. Who do we have? We have us. So these are some of the things. Let's see here. Twitter. Allowed to tweet a special message. I'm going to view that. Let's see here. Find that latest tweet. Oh, let's see. Why is that not? Hmm. Let's see. Copy link. All right. Well, it looks like we're having an issue there. So, um, let's see. Can we link our Discord? We're going to try to get all of this done. Has been linked to your. Please have some minutes. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now let's go back to. Oh, we got to go back to our home. That's our spawn point. So, as you can sort of see, let's see. You can edit that. So we're going to edit that. We're going to delete it. And what we're going to do instead is going to see. All right. So basically showing a live view of us always within here. Let's make that snap. There we go. All right. And we're going to duplicate that on every wall so you can always see. Let's duplicate this. We're going to clone that. There we go. Let's see if that works. Oh, nope, it does not. We're going to have to edit that. We're going to discard changes. We're going to delete. Are back on stream. It looks like we had a slight issue, but that's all right. So we're back on third. Let's see here. We'll hide that. Go directly to market and enter. And we're going to go to our home. And as you can see, we were building some cool stuff. We have our video of what we got building on over there. What we found is that a clone object actually doesn't work for new URL. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this object. And we're going to make a new object. And we're going to have to do this each time. And we're going to put that there. Make that a 10. Make that a 10. And bring that down to fit and snap into play. Snap. And what a snap does is it allows us to put it right onto I don't know if that puts that right on the wall piece. Let's see what that does. Yep. All right. So I guess that's the piece that puts it right against the wall. Let's see. Yeah. So that. All right. So we are seeing a slight bug issue there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit that and we're gonna bring it forward just a bit so that it is floating right there. Boom. Save those changes. And we'll clean that up as we can. And we're going to mute the sound on one of those so that there's only ever sound coming from one. And yeah, let's see here. Oh. Well, looks like we got rug pulled from Twitter. So I guess we're gonna finish up this video. We're gonna reset Twitter real quick. Oh. Mm, 301.2. Start now. And we're gonna go back live with this and retweet this. This amazing person in our life just brought us coffee. And this is just repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated into the metaverse. Nice. All right. And so we have this space. We're going to have to go get the video now, port the video in again, and boom. There we go. All right. So we have this object. We see it, and we're going to let it be. We see our anchor points that pull it out, push it, pull it up, tilt. And we're going to save our changes to that. We can mute the sound on it. And as you can see, the sound is now muted. All right. This object, we need to pick up. Oh, no. All right. So as we do this walkthrough on third, we're gonna, you can see our NFTs are loading up. And what we are doing is declaring this room as ours. We're going to make a wall of NFTs showcasing what we have. But one wall we are going to make ours. Yeah. So we do have to find that piece. Let's see here. I do wonder if Shanksy's game is able to be played here. That would be very cool. Worlds loading. Ooh, we got some free stuff. We got some objects. Okay, nice. No. All right, so let's put this back in. There we go. I'm going to place that. And I guess we have to place that against a specific wall if it won't let us. 8. There we go. So placed. And is that our favorite taco gala? It is our taco gala. We have to invite our taco gala up. We were actually just talking about you, Taco. That is an amazing thing. 2 tacos, 1 day. How are you doing? GM.
So I missed episode 300.
You did. You did miss episode 300.
I feel like I was busy during that time, but I still feel a little bit shaky.
Don't worry. About an hour ago, I was talking about you, and I told everyone that you were a good guy.
Oh, nice. Thanks, man.
So, yeah. I did not mention that when I'm in your area, I'm the other taco. But
we're both other taco.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And when I was someone had seen our posts when I was at the Solana Hacker House, and they were like, but you're the taco. They're the other taco. And I was like, no, don't put the pitchforks away. And yeah, you know,
we can all get along.
Exactly. I'm like, everyone loves tacos. So doesn't like more tacos actually like benefit the community?
Yeah, 100%. Whenever we're doing something together, that should just amplify it.
Yes.
We're not taking sides here.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I just got done doing an interview with Girl in the Verse. I hopped on Twitter and I saw that you were doing a thing, so I rolled in.
Nice. Yeah, no, we actually just had to restart, and I think we lost everyone because the entire internet went out for a minute.
That's been like legit happening lately. What's going on?
I don't know, like this wasn't just it wasn't just Twitter. It was the entire home. So New York just having fun.
Nice job, New York.
Yeah. So I'm basically, we talked about some of the stuff on the news of the day, but now we're playing with this new metaverse, Third Land, that seems pretty cool, or at least very user friendly.
I'm aware of it, but I don't have any real familiarity. So this is probably a great place for me to have jumped in.
Yeah, no, this is how. I don't know. Is this a sycophant thing, or where I literally made a wall that is a screen of this live feed in my metaverse?
I like that.
So there's a feed within a feed within a feed. Where does the metaverse end and where does it start? Type of thing.
Yep.
But I don't know. I started playing with it the other day. I met the founders during the Solana hackathon, and okay, like this is like it's a step up from like Roblox and Minecraft. But at the same time, they're keeping it really simple and the user interface for it really clean. You know what? I'm gonna send you a DM real quick. If you're free, do you want to come hop on video and look at and watch?
Yeah,
Let's do this. Where are you? Taco.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check my calendar to make sure I'm actually free. I would totally end up like missing an important meeting because I'm just like, oh, sorry, I was with other Taco.
And then they're like, wait, what does that mean? And you're like, well.
And I would be like, go fuck yourself.
Don't do that.
The only response to that question. What do you mean? What does that mean? Okay, yeah, I'm totally clear.
All right. Let's see here. Taco. Where are you, Taco? Taco Tribe? No, not Taco Tribe. No, that is
Taco Gala.
I know.
Oh, is Taco Tribe the one with the truck?
Yeah. All right. There you go. Because I'm having fun with this 3LAN. I'm already finding some issues that I think that they need to either user interface pieces or yeah.
I just used StreamYard for the first time with Girl in the Verse.
That is you. GM.
How do I not have that? Oh, is it because I'm using that mic and also talking through my phone in this Twitter space?
Yes.
Is this better?
All right. Let's see. All right. Mute all that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you through
the video.
Should I get out of this space?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get out of the space. Now you're here. You're live. And we got you.
Okay. Out of the space. How is this now? Can you hear me? Am I good?
You are great. You are great.
Why is technology's hard. So crazy. Like I'm the community manager of technology company and like the most basic nonsense garbage. Like how does this work?
Well, you would think that a lot of this is like interoperable. Why can't you use Twitter Spaces on your computer? That's where you would think
you would have
most functionality of it.
It's crazy because like you can watch them and I'll go into one and someone will like try to talk. It's like I can't talk. I'm on my computer. I can't do any of this stuff. So
yeah. No, man. It has been good. I think yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of sad that it makes it so hard to just bridge, you know? What has Gala been doing to bridge divides lately?
Brute force.
That's the best kind of force. Yeah. So you heard about Third Land? You've been in it a little bit?
I haven't even been in it. I just am aware of it because it pops up in places. I think there's some people in our community who are into it. It's just so. I'll give you a ton of credit because it seems like you have like an active awareness in so many different things. And I know Gala music and I don't even do Gala games anymore. I can't even keep track of it. And I keep up with like other music stuff, but there's a million other things, and I don't have space for it in my brain, I guess. I'd love to.
Yeah, it is. It seems to be I'm lucky. We literally, yeah. How long ago was that conversation? No, that's. Oh, it's not on repeat, I hope. That's hilarious. But yeah, no. I've been playing. I met the founder. I was at the 5-day Solana hackathon, and that was just amazing. You know, is Gala doing anything with AI?
I think on the game side.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet with
anything on the music side?
Not yet. We need to be.
Okay. Let's just mute this site. I think that will help us. Yeah, no. There was some musicians that were just putting a bunch of stuff out that they were doing some of the synth voice stuff and the lyrics, and I think that's really cool stuff. There was these kids that had ChatGPT-4 write a sea shanty about a new Block Explorer API call piece, which they had their founder so it was like a Solana University project. So the kid, I call them kids, but they're like young adults. I think anyone I call that's shorter than me, I call a kid. I don't know. Do you have that same? Do you do the same thing?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
And now that I really think I'm shorter than you.
We're pretty close, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So literally, it's one of those. Yeah. This is sort of one of those fun things.
So you're just building out a universe inside of that room.
Yeah. And basically, I'm just loading in NFTs. Everything. So it connects to wallet, and then my wallet. What a lot of the new NFTs that Solana is doing. They're putting out in their like drip house and stuff like that. They are 3D objects, and then I can I just placed one of these the other day, but this is an NFT I got, and it's a fully 3D object, and I can scale it, and oh my god, that's creepy. Yeah, but yeah, I'm sort of liking, what you can do in it, so but one of the things I think I'd seen, let's see here, yeah, you can view all the other rooms, but then they have a full musician room that every object is an NFT that you can either buy, view, or copy in or interact with, and so this is one of the art gallery pieces, I guess, and some of the artist stuff that they did special collections on, so NFTs that are music now, or fully animated. I put one of the NFTs from Music Box, and Music Box is launching some new stuff on the Listen to Earn side too. I know Gala's been doing that as well.
Yep.
Any alpha on that?
On the Listen to Earn?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
I have the QR code from VCon that I still have to that I was still going to go pass out in some of my airdrop hunter groups. Because I don't know why, but I've been tasked. The universe has tasked me with finding alpha and sharing it with people. And if you think of all of the projects that I have met, if I had actually done like really deep dived into them, I made a 20-minute video on Arbitrum and just, bridged over $100 and like did it in like 5 things. If I had actually hunted that down, like that would have been a crazy airdrop, Someone told me they did it with like 30 different wallets. So the music player, is it an app yet? Is it a web app? What is it like?
They're building the mobile app now. So right now you're just doing it on your computer.
Okay.
That is a priority because obviously people want to listen to music on the go.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. So right now we're using, we have Beams, which is sort of the token placeholder until the actual token launches, which will be soon-ish. Looks like July. Don't quote me on that because July could be August or 2029. Whoever really knows. But that's the plan. Our all access store is going live this month. And that's where people are going to have access to the actual experiences and the stuff connected to it. So you own the NFTs or you have a node, you're earning our token. You basically stake that token toward the all access store. And then that'll get you stuff like, whatever, all the cool things. We're getting pretty aggressive with like some of the cool hero experiences. Cause when you launch, like you want it to be like, oh, this is super legit. So that'll be pretty interesting when that goes live. So right now people are just like
giving away
the token. We're giving away a Bitcoin. Because why not? Right?
Why not?
And a bunch of tracks that people can get. Is cool.
Okay. That's one of those things where, So what do people have to do to win a Bitcoin?
It's one of those things where there's like 10 different things you can do to earn chances. 9 different ways, it says right there. So like follow us on Twitter, join the Discord, XYZ, do all the things, you get extra entries, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. That's some interesting stuff. And date of birth. All right. That's we're gonna have to do this.
I haven't filled that out because I would feel bad if I won the Bitcoin. I think I'm probably exempt from it. Or I'd probably just leave, right? You get the Bitcoin, I'm out.
Well, hey, I will tell, if you have a Bitcoin right now, don't sell it. I would, my suggestion would I would stake half the Bitcoin and put the other half of a Bitcoin, away on your ledger. That's what I would do.
We should do a space when someone wins with you to talk them through like what they should be doing with it.
Oh yeah. I'm down. 14 days from now. Yeah. So VCon, huge success, right? Like you had Jordan Sparks, you had all sorts of people.
It was pretty great. Jordan obviously was a big draw. I'm excited to have her on the platform. Because she's that kind of artist where like everybody knows who she is. She's got some mega hits that everyone will recognize. She's just a really great person, so a great partner in all this. Like she's been available for a ton of different stuff with us, which even having her when we signed up for VCon to sponsor them before we even had that plan in place. We were going to go with the booth and do the activation. And then we were like, oh shit, what we should do? And she's like, yep, cool. And then because she was doing that with us, then Gary was like, oh, do you think she might want to be the headliner? So like it all just kind of led one thing to another. It's like, oh, this was amazing. But she's been great throughout. Like this week she's recording a track with the winner from VCon.
Just Shockey.
Yeah. Which is bananas. Like the fact that she's like, yeah, cool, I'll do that. It's like, what do you mean you'll do that? Like you shouldn't. You're a big deal. So that's great.
Yeah. You shouldn't. You're a big deal.
You know what I mean? It's like you're surprised by some stuff, you know? Like some people who maybe aren't a big deal, who don't want to do things, then people who are a big deal who are like, yeah, I'm all in, let's go.
Yeah. I guess it sort of shows the humbleness, like the that they haven't forgotten where they came from, you know?
Yep.
And that sort of like I'll be honest, that gives you a little faith in human nature and human beings, you know, because you're like, cool, you can get to, because she was American Idol winner, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that used to, I can remember Kelly Clarkson, and I don't even think she won one or two or something.
I don't
like
think
that.
she won. I think she was like second place or something.
Yeah, but she like, and then there was a gray-haired guy, and that I quit following American Idol pretty quickly.
Back when Jordan won, it was like a mega big deal, obviously. Then she had a lot of her own success. I think she hasn't released anything really in a while, and she still has like 5 million monthly Spotify streams. Like people are still listening.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think this is really cool. Yeah, you're right though. It's great when there's people like that who like, and now for me, she's sort of like a benchmark for Gala. Like you look at it like, if you can get Jordan Sparks and she's this invested in like her fan experience and her involvement, like that should be the kind of artist that we're targeting, you know?
Yeah.
Like
now, do you see like the creator experience and connection? Like, you know, because everyone says that they're making this new platform for creators to monetize and connect with their users, and you know, is it like the Spotify versus YouTube music wars, I guess you could say, of who, or will there be a point to where there's just like, we're all like, I don't think there's going to be a come together kumbaya moment, and I don't think that there's going to be a winner, you know, but you know, I used to, before YouTube music and Google music merged, I used to listen to just Google music, and then I started going over to YouTube music because I like the algorithm better.
Mm-hmm.
And we're starting to see more content creation. I'm really excited to see what LimeWire does.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I think people just assume that we all hate each other that are building in this space, and maybe some people do hate each other. I'm just, the whole space, like Sound XYZ does so many things right, and like you look at them, it's like, wow, like they're doing a great job building. I love a lot of the stuff they have on their platform. It's different from what we do. Like we have the token economy, and like it's just a different way of doing some things. And so, I mean, they're both platforms, but it's kind of apples and oranges. But I want them to be successful because we all need to be successful. Like people need to come into Web3 music, and there need to be options where we get mass adoption. Like if it's just one company, I don't think that serves anybody. And so, yeah, there's a ton of people doing a lot of really fun, cool stuff, and there's room for everybody, I feel like.
Yeah. One of the things one of the projects I followed and I participate in occasionally when I remember to, I don't know if you've heard it, but Pools, P00LS.
No.
Or LS. So they're almost like a content creator as well platform. They partnered with a lot of big name brands for a moment. They've sort of died down a little bit, but they were having creator tokens. I felt like that they were doing a really cool thing. And this is where I don't know if this might drive more users, because I don't know the process, especially with right now. But they did a launch on the Learn and Earn on Coinbase. So people were able to go earn like $3 in pools tokens. And then it, that's where I followed through and I learned a little bit more about it. And then I start deep diving and collecting the tokens and stuff from, they do the listen to a music video and then you have to answer questions like, what is your favorite, what color, what book were they reading on the stairs or something like that? Like actual like questions.
Yeah. You know what? I don't. So right now the Gala, just the straight Gala token's been on Coinbase. Ours, the music one hasn't been launched yet, but I don't know if we ever did that with the Gala token. And yeah, I've done a bunch of those on Coinbase where you go like, I'm going to get my $6 worth of whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They even have a $30 optimism quest right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is how. So during the VCon, I wasn't as successful because all the staff were like VFriend volunteers, but there was a couple security guards. I onboarded like 2 security guards into Web3. And then during the Solana Hacker House, I onboarded all the bartenders because they just kept feeding me Red Bull. Mm-hmm. And so I ran out of ones and they didn't have wallets for me to give them any crypto. And so I was like, hey, can I give you like $70 over the next month? You can do whatever you want with it. And they're like, wait, how are you going to do this? And I'm like, I'm going to get you into Web3, And so literally walked them through onboarding into Coinbase right then and there. And so that's sort of like my go-to. And I even had one guy that was started off with the whole, nah, I'm not into it. Nah. Yeah. And then by the end, he was like, I helped his friend out. His friend was on it. He's like, you know what? Everyone has just sort of scratched the surface and like just said like, you should do this. But the way you talked about it, the way you walked it through, you actually care about this and you're willing to like help out with this. And so, he's like, help me out. Let's do this. And I was like, yes, win. So I don't know. I think someone once said that I'm doing the starfish approach. One starfish at a time. Throwing them back into the ocean. So, but yeah, I don't know. Man, what is so? Has Gala taken a stance on everything that's gone on with the SEC, or is that something you can't talk about publicly? Or
I don't. I think so. On the game side, I think they're a lot more vocal about it. Jason Brink, Bitbender, is pretty active on his Twitter. He talks about it a lot. And the CEO talks about it, Eric. I think a decent amount they'll bring it up. I think mostly just the rank and file don't dive into it too much. Yeah, but they do for sure.
Other than Gala is not a security. Right,
because we're not a security.
Yeah, Gala is not a security. It's creator content directly into someone's wallet. And I think
we were really careful about setting up music to make sure, like, let's make sure we're covered. And their Gala Music set up in Switzerland. And so, yeah, but it's tough. Everyone's like, when's the token? When's the token? It's like, we're going to launch the token. We're making sure all of our T's are crossed and I's are dotted and everything is 100% what it's supposed to be. It's so funny, though, because people, like, they'll come into the Discord and they talk about, like, but I made this investment and what about ROI? And it's like, it's not an investment and we're not talking about that. Like, Like you can say it's an investment. We don't think it's an investment, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing that I think that a lot of people don't understand. They take this terminology from Web 2.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't understand is that they're like, I've done a lot of spaces where I say this because I'm a third party. And I'm not an investor, you know. I buy shit that looks cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I buy stuff that has zero purpose. I think that one of the things I have to tell, you know, I'm like, hey, just because that project sounds like they're fudding you, like, and like they're cutting you off and being mean, what they're doing is if they don't take a stance and like encounter you directly, it can come back to them that they didn't, you know, put up the wall and say no, that they were allowing you to sort of speak for them, and it can come back and bite them in the butt, you know? So I just sort of think that that's one of those things that's not fully understood yet because there's no clarity on it.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm the same. I've even before I went into Gala, it's just buying stuff that looks cool.
Yeah, man. And I see you're all prepped. So you must have just come off of a Gala music call, or is all of your shirts Gala music shirts?
No, I was wearing this one because I was just I was being interviewed by a girl in the verse just before this, so I wore a Gala shirt. To yeah, I don't usually. Well, I mean, I have a bunch of them, so I do wear them sometimes. And this is just my office, like because we do all kinds of stuff.
Oh man, you got a nice. So what do you got on the back wall there? What is that record?
That's Peter Gabriel. And then for those guys, I've got it's a bunch of current music artists, and then some artists who I want to have on the platform, and then Waffle House obviously is up there.
And I see your little icon there, and I see a taco on a record.
Yep, that's Taco Records, my imaginary record label. I've convinced people that I have a actual label. People think I'm like I'm an actual music producer, just because I'm, you know, an asshole mostly. I don't know. It's fun. But now, like, you'll be in a space and someone will be like, "Oh yeah, Taco's a producer," blah, blah. And then like people will hit me up and DMs and be like, "Hey, blah blah blah." It's like I'm not actually a producer. Like we're just real silly.
I ran a music label company in early 2000s for like 8 months. Produced a CD and a cassette tape.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, if this tells you any part of the time of the life that it was called MDMA Records. Did a CD with DJ Wyatt Earp, and who was a tape with? Oh my gosh, I don't even remember who the tape was with. That just goes to show Warner was the main man behind everything. I was like the flyer distributor guy. That was me, you know. So
cassettes are back, man. Cassettes are back. I go to shows and they're like on the merch tables. It's like, why are you guys doing this? Like, we don't need this in our lives.
The nostalgia.
Yeah, probably. I remember
cassettes somewhere.
I was of the era of singles, where you'd buy the cassette singles and just the 2 songs, one on each side.
Yeah,
that was the good fun.
Those. The good side of 8 tracks, you know.
Those are coming back too. People aren't producing on them, but people are collecting the hell out of 8-tracks right now.
Wasn't there a thing that like the sound just was really good on them and stuff like that compared to a record?
Yeah, that's why people are buying them, because they want that sound. But I mean, they have to be like mint at this point, which is part of the fun of collecting, I guess.
Audio files.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here's some alpha for you. With all of your NFT artists. I don't know if you've seen, I'll send it to you, Drip House.
Nope.
So Drip House is, let's see here. I'll tag you in it. Taco Gala. So they basically, one of the really cool things on Solana is the new compressed NFTs. I sent out 7,000 NFTs. I airdropped them for 0.7 Sol total cost. That was, and so they are looking for ETH-based and Solana-based NFT projects that can do 150,000 collections. They want to drip them out to everyone and just get it all out there. So
that's fun.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff going on there. They've just been giving stuff out, but
why are they doing that? Like what's
so it's a participation piece, because Drip House users, you can go back every day, and so they're they have 150,000 wallets now subscribed. And so they're basically giving away NFT artists and showcasing artists, So I was thinking of reaching out. I think I tagged Emily in a post, for September morning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had yesterday yesterday ended up being a 5-hour space, but ended up talking about covering, I think like 6 different well, if we talk about one project's on 11 different chains. But it was sort of bridging back and forth between different communities and like opening. Sometimes people just become chain maxis in a way. And, I don't think that is the future. I think that being, multi-chained until chains are interoperable, different chains for different things. I literally, my first music NFT on Solana was like one of the first things I dropped into my metaverse, and by this artist Raj. So they're just doing some really cool stuff. It's I don't know. I just, one of the things too where you can get it, you can do coupons, advertise direct, like look at it from an artist perspective, going back into, everyone who has your ticket. And if getting a ticket out there is super easy to get, Rove World is doing some amazing things. Shout out to American Crypto Academy for joining us on Twitter. I see you. Just the easy access to users. I think one, it does 2 things from a BD perspective. What people are interested in. And you can offer stuff that might interest them to come back. that stickiness, but then you also have a direct way to say thank you as well and continue that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's sort of how, you know, a lot of communities, you know, it's just like, keep buying our next release, keep buying. And you're like, well, how do you get out of that buy cycle and participate? And I think that this sort of makes it easier for an artist to give back too, you know?
Yeah, I'll check them out.
But, yeah, so with Gala and stuff like that, you know, it's all the Gala music piece. What's, you know, the Learn and Earn platform, or the Listen and Earn platform, you know, what do people have to do?
So big picture, it's a place where you can just come listen, right? Like we're building the roster of artists. We're bringing on some bigger names. We're gonna have a lot of exclusive tracks. And so it's a place where you can come listen to music for your favorite artists where you couldn't listen in other places, which I think is great. The next tier up from that is if you own the NFTs or you own a node, that's where you can earn the token to then obviously you can go cash it out if you want to. But I would hope that you'd use that toward all access, which is the fan store, different experiences and stuff. And so the way it works is if I release a track, Taco's track, you buy a copy of it. When that track gets plays on the platform, you get a percentage of the distribution for that day. And so if my track is crushing it and it gets a ton of listens, you get a higher percentage, which is split between the NFT owners. If no one listens to it because it's terrible, because I'm not actually a producer, it doesn't get as much. And so you're supporting artists who, you just want to support those artists because you're fans, or who you think are going, you know, to get a lot of those listens, or it's emerging artists you look at and you say, wow, like this band is actually really good. Like they haven't popped yet, but I could see them popping. And then you own those tracks for if you want to just, you know, ride the rewards forever, or go flip it if you want to flip it. You've got all those options.
Okay. And where do you think that's going to lead? So what does running a node look like?
So if you own a node, I just run mine on my computer, and then tracks get paired to it. So if you own a track, you can pair it to your own node if you have one, or just offer it to the community. It gets paired to someone randomly. So if you have a node, you get half of the distribution. So it's half NFT owner, half node owner for each of those tracks. And so each node starts with 10 slots. So you can pair 10 different tracks to it. And so lots of options there. If you don't have any tracks, you can just be a node, and then tracks will get paired to you automatically through the community.
Okay. And what does the buy-in look like? You know?
So the lowest tier is our bronze tier artists, who are sort of that emerging. I mean, emerging is such a weird. It's everybody. It's artists up to, like, you know, we have some that are over 1 million monthly Spotify listens. So they're not like these new artists. Like there's a bunch of artists who you would know in that tier. But that we do those 100 NFTs at $100 per NFT per cycle. If you're at a higher tier, so Jordan Sparks would be a higher tier. Kings of Leon, obviously, those are higher tiers, and those are going to be more NFTs for a slightly higher price tag, with the assumption that Jordan's tracks are going to get more listens than somebody, you know, than me when I drop my track on there.
Okay. And, you know, is it an easy setup? You know, does someone have to run their computer all the entire time? Like, you know, is there slashing? Is it like...
Yeah, for the nodes, you have to have it. They need to be running 20 hours of uptime. The NFTs are just out being hosted to stuff, so they don't have the same uptime issues with those.
Okay.
For the people who just want to get a track and just turn on community hosting and have it just kind of handle itself. You don't need to worry about, the node stuff.
Okay. And what is a minimum requirement setup, that you think is a good setup for someone to run a node as we look at some of the tech stuff on it? And how does that support the network? That
is a great question. I don't know the answer off the top of my head. It's pinned in our Discord. you saw the trouble I had. You saw the trouble I had moving just from the space over to StreamYard, and so I'm not the tech guy. I'm just the pretty face.
You're the pretty face. Okay.
So my mom says, is that not accurate?
We have a request for questions, I think, from Rachel on Twitter. Rachel, how are you doing? GM.
Yes, I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. I'm new to cryptocurrencies. I just invested $100 in Bitcoin on Monday. But, it's still a foreign language to me. I'm trying to learn. I want to, I want to put money aside to save to make money, but I also want to be smart, and I don't want to make a mistake when I feel like I'm gambling here in a way. Do you understand?
Yeah, buying. Congratulations on your first buy. I'm assuming you used a centralized exchange like Coinbase or something.
I used Robinhood app.
Okay. Congrats. This, I don't want to split hairs, but I just, so you can sort of learn what's, things that are going on within, the world right now, as you deep dive. You are a buyer. You are not an investor, because these aren't securities. It's
right. Yeah. I've been corrected about that before. They said don't use the term investment, right?
And I'm not doing that to split hairs. I just want to clarify. It's sort of like saying, like, the difference if you go to McDonald's and you buy a Big Mac, are you an investor in McDonald's now, or are you a consumer? And so it's not a way of saying, like, putting you down in any way, shape, or form. I just want to make sure that you're using the right terminology so that, when you hear new things, you know what people are talking about. I don't know. Taco. So this is welcome to a joint space, as we have Taco from Gala Music and Player One Taco from me. So two tacos, the best of both worlds. Too bad it's not Tuesday, but Taco, any advice for a first-time Bitcoin buyer?
You're the expert on that, on crypto. How dare you, sir?
No. So, Rachel, I think you're off to a good start. Robinhood, has a really cool platform. Makes it very easy to get in and get out. And so I think Robinhood has some really interesting features. One of the things that I think Robinhood is lacking on is on the educational side of things. It's sort of like, to me, Robinhood is like Macy's. Everything that they show on their front page is something they want you to buy, not necessarily the best buy for you. And so there's not a whole lot of education on it. If you're okay with it, later on, I would love to send you a link for Coinbase. It's free to sign up. You don't have to attach your bank account or anything to that.
Okay.
And what they have is a really good learn and earn program. And Taco, does Go Gala have a referral link?
I was gonna I have a question when you're done.
Oh, yeah. Taco, does Go Gala have a referral link for users?
I mean, we probably do.
Okay. You just manage the artists.
Taco, what do you do at Gala? Yeah, let me let me grab that.
But Rachel, that way you can learn a little bit more about the things that you might buy, or welcome to crypto Twitter too.
Yeah, well, I guess my question is, I kind of follow some other people on here, and one of them is named Marty. I feel like he's one of the leaders, but not necessarily a leader of anybody, but he has like 40 plus followers, right? And, I'm just a little ant here on the anthill, and I'm just trying to make, educated decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And, they told me I need to get, and I forgot the name of it. I'd have to look at my notes. But it's some device that I plug into my laptop that my Bitcoin goes into for security or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That would be what's called a cold wallet, called a ledger.
Right. And so that's my next step I have to take.
Okay.
And I'm trying to wait till next month when I get the finances to do it. So right now my Bitcoin is sitting in this Robinhood app, and I'm hoping the company doesn't go under or something until I can get this cold wallet. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't think you have any fear of Robinhood going under in the next month or two. I know that there's some of the offerings that they offer that they're delisting. But
I heard some apps are cracking down on some crypto. Yep. They're not going to use some crypto. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I understand the companies are liable for taxes, so I get it.
Well, it's the companies aren't responsible for taxes. You as a user are. And that's on any purchases, whether it's a digital asset or something a little bit more than that, you may be responsible for. And so, yeah, I think that's sort of where there's a little leeway piece, and Robinhood and Coinbase are really good at the end of, come January, giving you like the 8327 form of your in and outs and your buys and sells. So I think that might, one of the people that is on stage is American Crypto Blockchain Academy, or American Crypto Academy. I've met, I don't know who's behind it, if it's an intern today, but a good account to follow would be that one. They do have a lot of educational pieces. I put out a lot of educational piece. I put out a lot of Degen stuff as well that, is like.
Yeah, I'm following both of you. Yep.
Okay. Just as a prerequisite warning, I do a lot of dumb stuff. I'm just gonna tell you now. So, the best advice I can say is do what I say, not what I do.
My best advice to you is, if you read my profile and follow me and you're offended by anything I say or do, I'll just say, hey, I'm a woman driver over here. Guilty as charged.
So what you're saying is do not drive in the same state as you. Okay.
I'm saying that, look, if you are afraid that this crazy bitch is going to be driving on the road, you're not alone, and I have an excellent track record of driving my old 2003 Toyota.
Heck so yeah.
I'm more afraid of than the other idiot drivers.
All right. Amazing. Any questions that you might have for Taco from Gala Music? Taco was in the Twitter space earlier. He decided to hop in and join us on video. If you can join us on video if you look up in the Jumbotron, you can see us there, and see his amazing bright smile.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. You guys got beards.
Yeah, I feel like this was like a trick. You were so smooth about it. Like I was in the space.
Want to be Gandalf, because eventually the beard gets so long, you see them later in life, and it's gray. I go, oh, it's Gandalf's kind, right?
Oh man, Taco, you got. I think it was like a year ago. You got into crypto, and you had a completely brown beard, and in this last year, it's just gone white.
Man, it didn't take long, did it? We're having fun though.
As soon as you started managing artists, at Gala.
So this is what Web3 does to you.
Yeah.
You know what? I think women always judge others by the beard. Like, oh, you have the beard short. Like my partner, he does a chin strap beard. I'm like, yeah, do the chin strap. And then all of a sudden I see these convict miners on TV and they're doing the same thing. I'm like, oh shit, shave your beard, Ben. Shave it, hurry. These copycats.
All right. Yeah, no. American Crypto Academy. Anything you want to add to Miss Rachel?
Absolutely. I wanted to say good morning and shout out to Taco from Gala Music. Shout out to you, Taco. Was a great pleasure meeting in Miami, and definitely been following you a lot closer now that we know each other. And I did wanted to say, Rachel, thanks for the follow. That's why we're here to help provide education readily available to everybody, and educating more in the space so that everyone understands what it's about and how it's relevant to us as individuals, to our banking and financial system, and to our freedom and the future of money. And with that, our platform is live, but it is in beta testing right now. So we are publishing daily lessons. Daily lessons are very short, take you a few minutes at a time. You are an experience within our platform and a token that you'll eventually be able to withdraw from the system and do as you please, whether you spend it back in the system or whatever. And the whole point is to provide that core financial literacy that we greatly lack, not just in this country, especially in this country of the U.S., but also worldwide, and to empower individuals to take control of their financial systems, as well as educating them about safety and how to, because now we're eliminating the intermediary, the middleman, in our case being banks. We've relied on banks to store and keep our money safe. Now we take that responsibility ourselves, which is why from Marty, you've learned that you need cold storage, because ultimately that's the best safe mechanism to use. But you also have other storage where you can store it on your desktop computer or on your laptop within a browser, an extension. So there's a lot to learn, and I invite you to check out the American Crypto Academy and help us test out, and at the same time learn little daily lessons that are published literally daily during the weekdays. And at the same time, our platform, like I said, is in beta. So there's a lot of bells and whistles that haven't been added yet that we're still working on development, but definitely we're adding a lot of value in there currently available. And you can access it without any cost.
Yeah. I just want to add, and I'd love your feedback from both of you. I talked to my family, my friends about this, and it's such a foreign subject. They just shut down, or they say I'm crazy, which is so sad, because I'm trying to encourage education about this. I'm trying to encourage people to kind of make up their mind about it. And, the only thing I can do is plant seeds with them, or make or show them a funny meme, because no one cares. It's so hard to educate myself when the library doesn't have books about. You know what I mean? Just these little things. Like, I want to go to the library. I want to get informed. You know, I'll just give you a off-topic example. You know, I want to learn more about UFOs and UAPs. It's a hot topic. I go to my library. You know, I've read some books. And, you know, it's like theology about God. You take some of it and then you can discard some of it. But when your library doesn't have Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, everything is online. You know, Twitter is a great resource, but you know, I got like 4 Keanu Reeves following me. I'm like, who's Keanu?
Well, I don't know if any of them are the real Keanu Reeves, but I totally understand. The number one piece of advice that I can give to you is you'll learn when you set up a wallet. You'll learn about what's called either a secret recovery phrase or your 12 or with a ledger, it's a 24-word recovery phrase. Never give it to anyone. That is sort of like your debit pin, your bank account numbers, your dog's name, your city. It's basically giving someone full access to your account. And so you'll learn about what's having multiple wallets. You'll learn about the terminology, a hot wallet and your cold wallet. Obviously, your cold storage wallet is where that's your never money only goes into it account, and you only transfer to the account you trust. From that, your hot wallet is what you interact with, just so you can sort of work to protect your assets.
Question about the cold wallet.
Okay.
Let's say I ordered that thing that Marty told me to order, right? The cold wallet thing.
Yep.
I order it online. It comes in the mail. My laptop's open. I'm connected to Wi-Fi. What's the next step?
You would walk through the instruction manual that Ledger comes with inside of it. You can either order it online from Ledger's website, or now you can actually go to your local Best Buy and buy a Ledger as well.
Well, that's interesting, but they told me to use this online website. I'm pretty sure it was the Ledger website you're talking about. I'd have to look back on my notes. But that's interesting. You can get it at Best Buy. I did not know that, because I do like. My sister used to work for Best Buy. I have a cousin that works for Best Buy, so I might do that just to support that company.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things to where Ledger will give you the correct the information pamphlets will give you the correct and up-to-date website. Just because it's your first time, I would recommend just following Ledger's instructions. They have a really clear beginner first time user guide. I wouldn't, I could, that is what I would follow. Those are the steps I would follow, because they lay out the education there, there.
There's a Best Buy nearby. I have the funds. Should I go buy the Ledger today?
That is 100% on you as a decision piece,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, do me a favor. Can you just put in the comment section below so I can take some photo shots of it on my iPhone of the Ledger, what to buy at Best Buy?
Yep, I can do that later.
That would be phenomenal. Thank you.
Yep.
If I may jump in, Taco, I wanted to add a quick other tip. In addition to not sharing your secret phrase or recovery seed phrase with anybody, when you enter this space, there's a lot of scam artists that try to send you links pretending to be somebody else. Unless you're expecting a message from someone and you get a random message especially with a link, never click on those links. There are a lot of phishing links that simply by clicking on them can activate stuff on your computer or leave bugs on your computer, or even drain wallets depending on the blockchain, because as a lot of wallets work in different ways. And I'm not trying to scare you, just trying to give you the heads up of you will, as you get into the system, be it in a direct message on Twitter or this Discord or even Instagram, people will send direct messages, invite you to click on links, tell you you've won a bunch of Bitcoin or Ethereum or something else.
Yeah.
Don't fall for that.
Okay. What if I click on some link, but the URL doesn't open? Does that phishing link still leave a stamp behind?
It may or may not. So chances are, if it didn't open, hopefully, browsers do a decent job of warning you when there's fishy websites that have functions on them that can potentially start phishing you or entering your computer or downloading stuff. And so if you have happened to click on one, just be careful and look out on your system for any abnormalities. But if it didn't load, and you didn't try refreshing and staying there long, chances are maybe not, but definitely never click on links. Verify official links from profiles that you know, like don't take someone's word. Seek out the source that is providing the information on a link where they have established and the info is reliable.
I heard something that New York City always records the IP address. Have you guys heard that?
I think that's every internet provider.
Is that okay? Well, that's good. But my question is, oh shoot, I just lost it. It had something to do with IP addresses. Okay, so on my Safari app, I'm always clearing my browser and history and data, right? Because of cookies. Is there something more I can do to secure my iPhone? I do not enjoy Norton. I don't want to get a security app. Some of that I think is scams. I think I'm good with my iPhone and the apps I have, but is there a possibility
Norton 360 actually provides really good security for both your phone and your computer.
I've had Norton before. They're great. I have them on my laptop. They're a great company, but I don't think I'm going to pay for it again. I think I'd rather do something else with the money, I guess.
So this is one of the things that crypto does is it puts you in control of your financial future and your financial control. Right now with the banking industry, you have a 800 number to call when something goes wrong with your credit or debit cards, something gets stolen. Now, when you're in control of your own finances, you don't have an 800 number to call. So I guess the question to ask is the $49 for a year of monitoring and security worth the cost of risk of possibly malware or something else putting all of your other assets at risk? So I can't tell you whether or not to buy it or not, but I can lay it out real clear. What level of security are you going to put into place to protect yourself?
Right. There are some steps I've taken to do so.
Yeah. Especially
when it comes to hackers in the right regard. I've had a partner in the past hack me, and it wasn't pleasant. Mm-hmm. And he did use my information to purchase other things, and it was not fun going through that, explaining to people this wasn't me, this was somebody else, and having them say, well, they have your data, and so I really want to be a part of this new movement. I really want to have securities of my own, but I also have to deal with real life situations, real life people who don't understand this, have their stereotypes or judgments about it, and I'm 36. I have to communicate in a way that's respectful and sort of up to date because there is a lot of scams and there are hackers, and who suffer is usually, in my opinion, the weaker link, which would be women. That might be a stereotype, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't mean to put you on a pause, Rachel, real quick. I just don't want to derail the conversation too much. We have Taco Gala joining us, taking time out of his day from Gala Music. Yeah. So this is a conversation I'm 100% want to continue with you, Rachel. But I would love to finish this interview with Taco of shooting the shit and talking what Gala Music is doing. And we can definitely continue that conversation piece as well. American Crypto, I saw that you put your hand up real quick.
Real quick, I know you want to bring it back to the topic, and I'll make a quick comment for Rachel, and then I also have a comment for Taco at Gala Music. Rachel, I'll give you a little bit of sort of alpha or info to empower you with when speaking with people that are sort of not ready to hear about blockchains and cryptocurrency yet. We've announced our initiative with the state of Wyoming and the University of Wyoming, who governs the Wyoming Education Board, and we're this fall in September launching a 12-course curriculum for all high school and college community college students to be required to learn about blockchains and cryptocurrency, which will also stimulate their understanding of financial literacy further, and that's happening on a statewide level. So over 85,000 students will be taking our courses, learning about all of this this fall. And so when people are questioning it, whether it's real or not, and this funny money, don't talk to me about it, referencing them to what states and governments are doing all over the world and teaching our youth, starting with Wyoming, the youth in Wyoming is going to be at an advantage of having learned at an early age. And so after Wyoming, there's other states that we're already talking to spread that. Our goal being is to provide education for everyone and empower everyone to understand this and how it's relevant. Having said that, I'm going to switch it back to Gala Music. I am a huge fan. We're a huge fan as an organization. American Crypto Academy was born out of Source Funds. Source Funds is an investor in Gala. We have some friends over at Gala as an organization, and Gala Music is an extension of that. And I'm a fan of Gala Games. And in fact, this week we've been talking about how fudders out there in Web3 are so out of FUD to where they started fudding organizations like Gala that are backed by millions, if not billions, of available resources and liquidity ready to build, and are building studios. And I'm really excited and following closely what Gala Music is doing and onboarding our artists into Web3 space in addition to the gaming space. I know here we're talking about music here, but it's funny to hear yesterday, I believe it was the president of Gala Games was on the Web3 breakfast space, and he was saying how footers are funding Gala because there hasn't been some updates recently, and I just find it hilarious. And so shout out to Gala Music, Gala Games. I'm a big fan, and definitely I'll let you finish the interview, Taco, so we can learn more.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Taco, thank you so much for being part of onboarding someone else new into blockchain live.
I don't know if I was really a part of that, but it's cool to hear those exchanges. I should probably, I do my weekly YouTube show. I should probably get you on to do like that 12 to 15 minute, okay, you're new to crypto. Here's that basic pitch. Because I think that has so much value. I'm down. So, this was just an amazing turn of events of the morning. Your ears must have been burning because I literally had just gone over our story of how we missed each other, and Emily had just she's like, "Wait, you're Taco? I just talked to Taco," and yeah. So it was I don't know. So I guess, let's rewind. We sort of talked about Gala Music, supporting artist pieces. What is your Web3 journey been? So I'm pivoting away from, my background is in business management and customer service, but I have a pretty deep photography background. And so I was pivoting off of, my wife and I owned a wedding photography company. We both shot weddings together. it was going great. She's still doing it. It's still going great with just her. The pandemic hit and everything shut down. Like so many other businesses, every wedding got canceled for 18 months. And that was both of our sources of income. And so we were in a position to like, it wasn't great, but we managed it. But I had a bunch of downtime because everything we weren't doing anything. And so I got into crypto basically just because a friend of mine said, hey, look at this thing. And so I did. And I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. And so you start doing research. I just went down that rabbit hole. And then I found NFTs, and I found NFTs with utility. And I found, like with Gala Games, that, oh, wow, like we're doing a thing where there are game assets that have utility. And some of these games have an earning mechanism. And all that for me, I'm a gamer since I was a kid, like all just clicked in my head. Like all of this makes perfect sense to me. And so I was a part of the Gala community for a year before I even joined the company. Like I was just in there chatting. I went to the events, and it was finally got to a point where I told my wife, like, listen, I love doing the photo. I love running a business, but I'm going to go to work for Gala because I love what they're doing. And this is just making sense to me right now. And she was great. She's like, okay, we'll start just booking them just for her. And now I do this. And so, yeah, kind of just a happy accident board during the COVID.
Okay. So it was one of those COVID transitions. So coming from photography, did you do any of like the one of ones and, doing any of your own art as NFTs?
No, nothing. I've never done anything like that. No, it didn't even, at the time, I was just so hyped on what Gala was doing. It didn't even ever occur to me to be like, hey, like maybe we should release some NFTs and put some collections out. I still haven't, which is maybe crazy. I probably should. I have a massive fan base now that would probably love that.
Yeah. Or at least like do some of your own pictures and onboard your family,
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually would make some sense. It's not how like half my family understands what this is and they get it, and like they have NFTs, and the other half are like, it's so beyond foreign to them.
Okay. What was one of the first Gala games that got you into Gala?
Well, Townstar was probably the first one I started playing, but then just the fact like Miranda's was being built, it's still not released, but you could see what they're building. And just the vibe of the whole thing, you could tell they were building the right way. And it was a really great community, which was a huge part of it. Like you start making friends in the Discord and you start connecting with the people who work for Gala. And that was it more than anything. Like you could tell it would be a great company to work for because of that, because of the community, because you don't know the people who work there yet, but you know them, the way that they're interacting and doing stuff. So it felt like this is just going to be a great organization to be a part of.
Okay. And then for like, what was it Gala that put you into the music side of things? Was it that like, there was an ad placed that you're like, I can do that.
Yeah, I had interviewed for just a general community manager role. I had met with Bucks, the CEO, because I was just kind of relentless about the whole thing. And my timing, to be fair, was really good. It was at a point when the team was growing. I was going to events, and so I was tagging Bucks probably too much. She must have, I think it was like half annoyed, but half impressed with that. Like I'm in Massachusetts and they had a music event in LA. And so like I flew out to LA just as a community member, just to go to this thing to like meet some people and do some stuff. And so she finally interviewed me and I met with the community management team, and it was like, okay, like you're probably a fit somewhere. Let's figure it out. And as that was happening, they were rolling out music, and music didn't have a community manager. It's like, oh, well, shit. Like if I'm joining the team and that's an option, that's where I should be, because I love that it was building from scratch. I've helped build some small businesses from start. And so I was really attracted to that. The fact that like, here's this brand new community you can help be a part of, from the beginning. And I'm just a big music lover. So it was like, oh, this is like a perfect fit for me. And then we rolled out film. And so I sit across music and film. So I get to be a part of all of it is pretty special.
Nice. I got to see, and I'm going to butcher his name. I want to say it's like Chuck, the director that did like The Mask and a bunch of like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I saw his film piece Arm release as well, and that's part of Gala Film, right? If I remember right.
Chuck Russell.
Chuck Russell, yes.
Yeah.
Am I not allowed to say that?
No, there have been some announcements by other entities about that project that people could probably look up on their own.
Okay.
We haven't officially announced that partnership.
Okay. Maybe that was so. I know initially you're like, you have like a finger in everything. And so this was information I got at Quantum Miami in January when Chuck, like the showcase, sort of like the brand image and the branding and everything like that. And I got to meet one of the film. I don't remember his role. His name is like a 4-letter word, starts with a K. Looks really buff, like Hawaiian, Samoan, Hispanic, I don't know, guy.
With Chuck?
Kilo. Yeah, works with Chuck. It's like Kilo or something.
Yeah, I met him last year. I don't remember his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about because he's enormous.
Yeah, I thought he was security at first, and I thought he was going to escort me out of the green room, and I was like, no, I'm supposed to be here. I just, I won this. Well, so far, I've won an Ed McMahon check. I'm going to take this off the wall because you can't see it. Oh my gosh, maybe I should take a picture of it and turn it into an NFT. Can you see that? This is an Ed McMahon check of an NFT of a DeLorean. There we go. Oh yeah. So I basically have just won. I was on stage and I won a DeLorean NFT. So whenever DMC comes out with a DeLorean or their DeLorean NFT, I will eventually get one.
Nice.
Woo-hoo. Yeah. So far I have the check.
Yeah, so I can't confirm or deny that we're working with Chuck Russell on a project right now.
Okay, I for those that are not in video, I am not going to confirm that Taco was shaking his head up and down vigorously as I was touching my nose. So those that might not, vision impaired, man, that's just gonna expand more of the creator functions, the distribution pieces. Last year at South by Southwest, I met some of the Marvel team from the Web3 team.
Yeah,
and I got some alpha, maybe because I wasn't, maybe because the person had partied. It was 3:00 in the morning, about how like the film was going to be distributed eventually cell by cell as NFTs, like I just like some of these idea pieces are just amazing.
There's so much you can do. I love Gala music. Like I love interacting with the artists. I think there's so much potential. I might be even more excited about film just because from the utility standpoint. So like Ghosts of Ruin's a great example. They're doing an anime right now. It's in production. And so we pre-sold those NFTs. And those NFT owners, and you don't have to do this. You can just buy the NFT to buy the NFT. But they're bringing those owners along on this journey. So they're having votes on things. And so you can vote on dialogue as an NFT holder. You get like this behind the scenes videos that nobody else is seeing. They do things where some of the upper level NFTs, they're recording you, they're writing you into it, like with a death drop. So your character, Taco, could have been in there dying in this anime. You could submit like graffiti art to be placed somewhere on one of the buildings in the anime, which for me, I'm stoked on stuff like that. Like then you're watching it later, like I own this NFT, but yeah, that's Taco in graffiti art in this anime. And that's the kind of stuff that you can do when you're going like through a production. It can be set visits. It can be, signed whatever stuff somebody stole from on set. Like there's a million possibilities. And that's just, as far as like, that's what I point to for like NFT utility. Like this is why we do this.
Yeah, it literally puts it right back into the hands of the consumer. Mm-hmm. And you don't even get ticket stubs for movies anymore. To remember like movie releases, and if you get a digital ticket in your like Apple wallet, as soon as you use it, it's redeemed, it's gone. So you don't have like that proof of participation, that proof of attendance. Mm-hmm. I did a little bit of research, and this is because Gala is still built on Polygon, right?
No, Gala's built on ETH, but we have our own chain now.
Oh, Gala has their own chain. Gala chain. Is it Gala chain?
It has an official name that has not been announced yet. Right now, we're calling it Gyri, Gyri. I don't know where that came from. It has a different name with it. I don't know why we haven't announced the actual new one yet.
G-R-E-Y?
Gyri, Gyri.
G-R. Okay. Yeah.
How come disappointed you didn't know Gala had just launched their own blockchain?
Well, I can tell you about Nautilus chain. I can tell you about Psi chain. I can tell you about Aurora Plus now has individual chains. I can tell you about
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Football chain. Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I can tell you about Keck chain.
So you know about every chain except for our chain.
Oh man,
it's still
probably
it's not 100% launched. Like Spider Tanks launched on it. We're building music on it, so it's not like 100% out there yet.
And so actually, I do have it loaded up because I have a Spider Tank.
Yeah,
I have like a Gen 1 Spider Tank. So I know I've seen the NFT, so I know I have it loaded up in like the 40, 50 chains that I have in my MetaMask. So I know I've seen it. So I'm there. Yeah.
40 or 50 chains in your MetaMask. I've got like 4. I'm so behind.
Oh, don't think that you're behind. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see here. Just this is a I don't know. A Gyri is a fold or bump in the brain.
I don't know what those words
that
mean.
has anything. Yeah. It is responsible for motor cortex and voluntary movement. So that sounds like dancing.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll
go with that.
It's interesting. I don't for me, from a marketing standpoint, not to be critical, I don't know where this name came from. I don't want to have to spell it to you. Like you're trying to find it right now, and it's not. Gyri could be spelled 9 different ways, and that for me, that's a problem. You know, I want you to just go find it.
Yep. Yeah. I same thing, and the reason why I don't like these, like, yes, it's a very unique branding when it comes to like SEO, but then it also allows for someone spelling it wrong and someone having claimed that and going down a path, Good thing it's not the end use.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't actually remember offhand what the end use is. Yeah. I have the same issue with some music artists who spell their names in ways that are unnatural, and like they'll add in like numbers where they're supposed to be letters and different stuff. And because it looks cool sometimes, but also then when I go to Spotify and try to type in your name and I cannot find you, and then I'm moving on to whatever else I was doing, and then I haven't discovered you probably.
So this I that is sort of hilarious. I got to meet this music artist, I don't even know, like not a decade ago. 8 years ago. I used to there was a point in my life I was going to school full, I was managing a bunch of GNCs, and then I worked night at head of security of a nightclub. And so I got to meet a lot of musicians, and this was a Club Vinyl in Denver. And so I had the artist's name on paper and waiting for him. And so I was like, "Are you Deadmau 5?" And then the next week it was Mishcraft. I was like, and they're like, "No, it's Mastercraft." I was like, "No, it's not. It's Mishcraft."
No, it's definitely not. Yeah. And once you're famous, then you're fine. But like, until you get to that point, why are you creating these hurdles for yourself?
Yeah. So, we were talking earlier about like all of the different platforms, the Gala Music, Sound XYZ, Showtime. I don't know if they were the first, but they were the first that sort of popped into my head. Realm, Blau, or 3Low.
Yeah.
And Justin's platform and stuff like that, doing things with what was that he released? The Chainsmokers.
Yep.
And stuff like that. Me being me, and that was during Permissionless last year. I just walked myself on stage while he was performing, and I'm like, they're like, "What? How do you know?" I was like, "Oh, I share Twitter stages with him," and people just like let me through. I don't know if it was like, and next thing you know, I'm literally doing a TikTok, or not a TikTok. It was a Snapchat of me, on stage, there. And then when Permissionless was like showcasing some of the pictures of last year, I was like, "Oh, there's me." And they're like, "Where?" And I was like, "They're on stage." And they're like, "No, that's not you." And so then I shot back the Snapchat, and they're like, "Oh, that is you." So I think I got into a really cool discussion with the Permissionless intern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird now how how Twitter Spaces is like, that's a credential now. Like, "Oh no, I've been on Twitter Spaces with that guy. Like, we're probably best friends."
Yeah, definitely. I think that's also one of the really cool things, because everyone sort of feels like they're like, "How do you know this guy? His name's Taco." And I'm like, I'm Taco everywhere. Everyone knows my face. Everyone knows me as Taco. No one knows me as Steve Smith. And it actually bothers some people, even people in Web3 that are like in Web3. They're like, and I'm like, "But what's your name?" And I'm like, "Taco. Player One Taco is my name." And do you have that? Like, does your family call you Taco, or
No, nobody in my real life knows me as Taco. When they accidentally find out because they stumble upon like a YouTube stream, they think it's hilarious. But that's all completely separate. Even when they like ones who know what I do and understand NFTs and know that I like work for Gala, I'm a community manager, they know the VOD, they still don't really know that it's like a separate persona. But because I started in the Gala community and on Discord as Taco, That's what everyone has always known me as. And then when I joined the team, everyone on the team knew me as that from the community as Taco. So any event, anything I go to, I just introduce myself as Taco. And sometimes, yeah, I'll get there. People will be like, no, what's your real name? It's like, my real name is Taco, because in this universe, no one knows my actual name is Matt, which is like, even saying the word Matt, that sounds so dumb. I just did the interview I did with Girl Never. She like introduced me as Matt. It's like, it just sounded so insane because I spend 12 hours a day as Taco, and it's like it's not a different person, but that's who I am here.
Yeah. My grandma came on to one of my Twitter spaces when I was at her house, you know, and I was like, you know, I'm just so you know, I'm Taco, you know, so and I'm live on air, and she's like, okay, all right. So an hour later, she comes up and she was like, excuse me, but Taco has to go. Grandma Taco just made dinner, and Taco has to. And I was like, that is amazing, Grandma Taco. You know, so like, that. You know, but yeah, no, it's weird because, for me, I looked at it as like sharded personalities in a way. Mm-hmm. You know, in one community, I was player one Clash. In another community, I was player one Rival. In another community, you know, in another life, I was Big Viking Guy. You know, and then I was player one Taco, and it was, you know, sort of rolling them all out, just, you know, started by changing the username, you know, mm-hmm. And it sort of brought it all into me, you know, into just one personality, to where like wherever I go, I'm Taco, you know, mm-hmm. And they're like, well, what's your full name? And I'm like, player one Taco.eth, you know, but that's a mouthful. So you can call me Taco. Mouthful, but a good one, you know. I don't know. So, okay, here's a crazy question. If I came to work for Gala,
yep,
would I be Taco? Would I be Taco 2, or would I be the other Taco? Or would I be one Taco?
That's a great question, because I think you can have two guys named Bill on the same team, right? I don't think you can have two. To answer the question, I don't think we could hire you, right?
But two tacos, if you have a plate with one taco, you're like.
I feel like it feels like if you were going to join Gala, it would be on the game side, because that's the side that also does like the node team is over there. Like a lot of that, the tech side is more on that side of Gala. And I think if games had a Taco, and then entertainment, which is, you know, film, music, Vox, I think if they have a Taco, then I think it's probably okay.
Man, but what happened if I want to work with you?
I guess it would just be Taco 1.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
But then I would be Taco 2. I'm not Taco 2. Yeah. I don't know. It's complicated. Man, yeah. I think it'd be cool to work with you, but honestly, behind the scenes, I'd probably get that shut down. Like you apply and be like, yeah, great candidate. He checks all the boxes. We're going to make him an offer. And I'd have to be like, oh, I didn't want to have to bring this stuff up, but yeah, I know. So I have some stories from back in the day at Club Vinyl. Like, there's just some stuff you guys need to know.
Hey, I have a stellar record at the club. This was okay. Two stats that were on boards. These were the worst stats to have on the board. Most fake IDs found was my name, big BVG, Big Viking Guy, or Mr. Awesome. That was my hello, my name is tag, Mr. Awesome. And so that was most fake IDs found. and most guns found.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
So that makes me feel like, so the other people who were checking means there were probably some fake IDs and some guns making it through security.
I don't know, but yeah, it was I don't know if that was not the game board that you wanted to be on the top of, but it ended up for a good payout bonus occasionally, So
Sure. You get like $10 for every gun you find or something like that.
I think it was a little bit more. Hopefully it was a little bit more than that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many guns you were finding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple extra tips. But yeah, no. I don't know. Hot Boy Records, fun times. Those were fun times. So I don't know. Is Gala Music going to be doing something at Permissionless?
I don't think so. Oh, I don't ever know. And honestly, like they do stuff on the game side that I don't always know about until it happened, like until it's happening. We have a bunch of stuff planned for music and for film over the next 4, 5, 6 months. Like for each of them, they each have their own activations we're going to do. So I don't think permissionless, but I mean, who knows? Things just kind of pop up.
What are the next IRL events? ETHCC, Nashville, or just the side film and music events?
I think it'll be like side music and film events.
Okay.
On film, we're going to do this is all stuff no one's ever heard before. We're going to have some activations, basically as like the launch of film when it launches in a few different cities, which will be really cool. Music, we're going to be going to some music related events. We're working on some partnerships right now, which will be, I think, pretty cool. Yeah, stuff like that. I want to put together some like songwriting camps because I've been like super into that idea lately. I think it'd be really fun, but do that through music and film. Like, so the musicians are there, you can film it for content for the film side, but then like whatever songs end up getting written, those could be dropped as NFTs on the music side. So I think there's options for that kind of stuff.
Man, one of the coolest songwriters I know, Dan the Lost Boy.
Yeah, he was at VCon.
I know. Yeah, I missed seeing him personally. I met Dan originally last year in Toronto for ETH Toronto and Futurist and stuff. Yep. Got to meet him in person, and we've shared a lot of spaces since then. He drops the beats. Last space I was in with him was a Pudgy Penguin space, and he was doing a sea shanty.
He seems like a really fun guy. I met him for the first time at VCon, and we haven't really connected. Hopefully, I mean, we're going to be dropping that track on Gala, so hopefully I'll be able to spend some more time around him. But yeah, that's really cool. It's interesting with the different like conferences and stuff, because it, like for music or for film, it has to make sense. Like, are these the right people to be sharing this message with? And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. Like VCon made a ton of sense because that community feels a lot like our community, like their passion for VFriends and this kind of the same sort of vibe. And so I don't know if to call it a target market, but like, oh, these are the kinds of people you want to have around, And Gary's obviously Gary.
Yeah, Gary's Gary. No, and that's one of those things I think as the onboarding of users becomes easier, and and I tell this to everyone, I'm like, mobile apps is the way, enhanced web apps, to where there's that little download button, so it's an easy access,
Yeah.
Just because we see that it really sort of pushes the narrative a little bit to make it really easy to onboard, and I think you guys did a great job activating people. did you have like the numbers of like how many signups to Gala Music during that time you had?
Yeah, we hit our targets for that for sure. And beyond signups, like it's people were interested because the recording studio was so cool that just being there, like at the booth, just talking to people and walking them through, what is it? What do we do? Yeah, that was really cool. And then I think moving forward, it'll be kind of a combination of like, it's great to go to those places and talk to people who are already in Web3, like, and get it. Like, it's a much shorter brief on like, this is what we're doing and how it works. And then doing stuff like, you know, activations at festivals where it's that mass market music lovers, I think would make sense.
Yeah. One of the things I think you guys did amazing was the silent disco piece too, you know, so you had artists showcasing their songs or just spitting out bars randomly. And, you know, so you weren't taking away from VCon, you had the headphones, you know, you had a great team there that was helping in recycling headphones, making sure anyone, you know, like, hey, explaining what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you had Bucks out there in her outfit, you know. I literally have a blockhead talking to me. Hi, I'm the lead of Gala Music, you know.
Yeah.
You're the other
people would come by and ask if Bucks was around and be like, yeah, in that giant foam head, that's the CEO of our company right there. Yeah. And it's crazy because most people I don't think even know what that is. Like, that's one of our Vox characters from the game side. But if you don't know what Vox is, you don't know that like that pink engineer is her, like, you know, everything within the Gala. She's like, oh, she's dressed in this weird costume for no reason, which is, for me, is even better. Why is she wearing that giant big head? It's like, because she's the CEO. I don't know.
And I don't know if it's just how, I don't want to say desensitized, but, or like how into it, like that 100% made sense to me. Like it didn't act like, I didn't like, for me, it was like, it made complete sense that the CEO was there in costume, you know, per se, literally dragging people in, you know, and talking about it, you know, and, you know, then it was like funny. She's like, let me see your phone, and like put her phone up to the screen so she could actually see it, you know. Yep, that's me, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, it kind of goes without saying, when you work for a company where the CEO is wearing this costume and is spending the afternoon talking to just attendees, like, she could have been in meetings with the other sponsors. There were a lot of important people there, but she's just out there like spreading the message. And what are we doing? And hey, what are you doing? Come put some headphones on. Seeing, you know, her engage in that kind of way, like, makes you want to contribute your maximum. Like, what am I doing at this event and in general to sort of match that level of energy?
Man, yeah, it almost like that. Like I was saying, like, how do I come work for Gala Music?
You can't.
Even if I just like the other taco.
I'll
take the name.
We'd have to figure it out. Hey man, the team is growing right now. If you go to the Gala site on the careers page, there's stuff up for games, music, and for film. So I don't know, check it out. It sounds like you'd be qualified for a lot of different stuff. Honestly, I think we could figure it out. I wouldn't make sure you didn't make it through. If you were the right person for whatever the role, we'll work through it. We'll figure it out.
Oh man, that would just be hilarious. No, I wasn't hired because my name's Taco, and there's already we would love to hire you, except we already hired a Taco, and we feel that would confuse the community.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the existing Taco has a really fragile ego and doesn't want to even mess with it.
Oh man. Yeah, no, that would be amazing. So what is something that someone can do right now? Like they can go to the Go Gala web Twitter page, follow the links from there. What does a user journey look like? Like let's
Mm-hmm.
you know.
For me, well, a couple of things I would do is and I don't listen. My expectation isn't so much to go in and buy some NFTs, right? But go to our platform, check it out, listen to some music, see some of the stuff that we're doing. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be launching our all access. You can check out what some of these experiences are you can get through your involvement with the ecosystem. And I think that's going to help a lot too. Like our platform is pretty cool. We're building stuff out. We're going to have the mobile app, but when you can see like, oh, you can get to a point where you can cash in for, this backstage VIP thing at these different events. Like we had the barbecue at Snoop's compound, like those kinds of things. I think that's great for people to see, oh, this is the vision. If you join our Discord's pretty active. A lot of our artists are in there actively. So it's a great place. I mean, it's a great community in general, but that you can connect with artists in this place, I think is really fun. They're available in there. And we try to do a good job with that. Like I've joined some projects who say things like, we have XYZ in a Discord. That's an easy thing to promise and a hard thing to deliver on because the artists need to want to be in there and be partnering with it. But it's great being able to jump in there and talk to people and get their points of view on stuff, or they'll talk about their songs. Check out the platform, check out the Discord, hit us up with questions. Like we have great mods in there. I'm in Discord. The community is great. Like if people pop in there like, hey, what is this? What are, how do you do XYZ?
And the Gala music is all under the Gala Discord. And I think that's sort of nice that it's just one Discord for the entire Gala ecosystem. I hate Discord because like every project wants you to join their Discord and like just you can't keep track of everything there.
I'm in 50 Discord servers, and some of them I'll check in sometimes because I'm waiting on certain announcements or I just want to go see what's going on. You're 100% right. And there's one for games, but like every game is in that one Discord, which I think is great. And then music, all the music is in one, all the film is in one to kind of keep it compartmentalized. And we try to do stuff in there. Like this week in there, we've had a couple of live streams with some of our artists who are just like singing, which I think is cool. We'll do different stuff. So we do sort of the spaces for some things. We're in Discord for some other things. So they're not just like a dead Discord.
Yeah, no, it's a very active one. I haven't. One of the games that I was following for a minute was Betwixt. Create your own story. Yeah, I actually just recently, because they had opened up a separate Discord and stuff, and I had to I am jealous that you're at 50 Discords. For a long time, I was at 200. And, I pared it down to 100. Then I was back at like 150. And I think I got to pare it down again.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
That's actually really interesting because some of the games Gala is producing, and some of those games, there's third-party producers, and some of them want to spin off and they want to, hey, why don't we just go make our own Discord? And it's like, you can do that, but if you're just under this umbrella with the rest of the games, people who are into the Gala game ecosystem, they're going to see your things. Like they'll be in here and they go to your channel. They're going to get announcements in the main thing. It's less likely they're going to go to these 20 different games individual Discords just because just the time constraints of having to check in on all that stuff is kind of impossible.
Yeah. And one of the cool things, is as more bots advance within Discord, you can even token gate what you see within a game's channel, so you could literally import an entire Discord into its own little channel and just for that community. And so, like you said, why would you want to take yourself out from seeing other eyes seeing you and learning about you? And, I think having everything in one place is really cool. so we, I know I will talk, I say her name wrong because I think it sounds cooler. Emily Laser.
Yep.
Instead of Emily Lazar.
Yep.
But we got Just Shocky. What are some of the other artists or up and coming artists that might not have some eyes on them yet?
Oh man, there's a bunch, and that's one of the most fun things about this for me. Like I've been lucky enough to do some of the A&R, and have brought in some artists who I think deserve some shine. I think we've done a really good job of bringing in artists who you might not know, and some might not have a great following, but we try to bring on people who are legitimate quality artists who get what we're doing. And so even if it's a genre that you might not care about, you'll at least go on and you'll say, oh, but I recognize this as good music. And so we have like some EDM artists, like Bronze Whale, Win and Woo, who are like pretty good size established EDM artists, duos. And you listen to them, it's like, oh yeah, like these guys are professional. There's a reason why they're playing festivals. This is great. And we'll have some people who like Shocky, who has done some stuff, and he came on through an open mic, but he's great. And most people don't know who he is. Like he actually was on American Idol last year, but doesn't have like a massive fan base in Web 2, but we're giving him this platform that he just needs us to be successful. He's going to be successful no matter what. But being a part of that, I think, is really awesome. So seeing people who are great and helping to launch them and expose them to people, that's been really fun.
I think it's great. I think it's one of those things to where by being able to showcase new artists, you get like, because you're worldwide, you're not
It's
just
global.
set to one thing.
Yeah, and that's part of the fun too, is like we recognize that we're global, and so trying to bring in our community, like we know we have a big Spanish speaking community, and so we're working with this guy named Lava, who's a part of the community, to bring on reggaeton artists, and so our Spanish speaking community, and that's the fastest growing genre in the US right now. So we brought on a few of those artists, an artist named Bry, who, if you're into reggaeton, would probably recognize. He's joining the platform in a couple of weeks. He has like 13 million monthly Spotify listeners. And so you might not know him if you don't follow that genre, but it's cool to have something like that on the platform to expose people to that genre. Like I'm listening to music and then also, oh, who's this guy? Because he's a real person. Like he's a legit, has that kind of following. So that's also really cool.
Nice. That's I think that lays, because Gala has the multi-language channels, you're just, blockchain music is one of those things that has brought cultures together, and it just makes it so you can play it anywhere. You don't have to worry about anything. What are some of the roadblocks that you see coming up or that you've been hitting in Gala music lately?
I think, well, the first one is just getting everything out there, right? Like we launched the platform because we wanted to launch the platform, but we don't have the mobile app yet. And so obviously there's people waiting for that. It takes some time to develop stuff, and not everybody is as patient with that as you would want them to be. Like everybody just wants everything right, and I get it. Like we have people who bought nodes a year ago and are, hey, when is this thing going to be fully formed? And they don't want to hear, which again, I get it. It's the end goal for us, it's short term, middle term, like long term, right? Like we're doing XYZ right now. What is things going to look like in 6 months? What are things look like in 6 years? Because you're growing toward a thing. Like you're not going to get mass adoption immediately. Like right now you're growing into the Web3 space, and you'll grow into, just those people who are like about to get into the Web3 space. Like I'm not trying to get my mom on here right now. And so a bunch of years from now, sure, maybe, but it's that growth and having people be okay with it takes a little bit of time as we like this is lots is brand new. And so it takes a bit to do it and learn and break it and try it again and grow. But everyone's been so far really great. Like it's a great team. So yeah, I think that's the only real roadblock. It's just time, wanting to do so much all at once.
Yeah. Do you find, are you guys like, I guess, are you guys starving for artists? Do you have like a plethora of artists that are like in backlog waiting to sign up? You know,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah, I wish we could bring on more. It's just so far as we've launched, it's been kind of a white glove service. Like I think we have 70 signed now, around 60 have been released. There's definite interest and we're kind of connected to a lot of people. And it would be at some point down the road, we want to have a system where it'll just be like a self-serve and you can come on and launch your music. But there's sort of a balance of what the market needs, how bringing on X number of tracks, how that affects, the earning ecosystem, like the token distribution. You don't want to add 1 million artists just to add them. At the same time, we want a platform that has options for people, right? Like we're not trying to be Spotify, but if you come on as a casual listener for music discovery or whatever, you need enough on there so people can make a playlist and be on for a while and have that make sense. Yeah, but I think what we're doing is attractive to artists. And so there's definitely there's no shortage of interest.
Okay. Are you approaching artists that don't know Web3 and educating them, or is it artists that they know Web3, they might have already done something? Because I've heard some horror stories of listening to artists in Web3 sometimes, and I'm like, you're not just this. You did not have a good education on this.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. We have some artists who were involved already in Web3. Emily's a great example. She's been in Web3 selling NFTs since before there were NFTs somehow. Like I don't know how she got into this space so early. So she knows all of this stuff, right? But we talked to a lot of artists who haven't done this and don't understand it. And so, yeah, there's that education process. And ultimately, like there's the two layers of it, right? Like you don't really need to know how the node network works to understand what we're doing, to understand what the utility is, the fan artist connection, where there's value for them, where there's value for the fans. But yeah, definite education. And it's something that we're still, perfecting now, like the whole onboarding process. What does all this mean? Someone buys your NFT, they're earning a token. They're going to then go essentially stake that token toward them for the all act. Like there's a few steps in there that they need to understand how this works to then how to deliver things to their fans.
You say artists don't necessarily need to understand the node piece, but do you find that might make it that makes it easier if they understand the outline of it, that they can explain it to their fans too?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm just like in those initial conversations, like those are all things that they should 100% know, and we should be teaching them. But when you have that first conversation explaining what is Gala, why does it make sense for artists, why does it make sense for their fans, you can kind of put that aside initially and talk about here's a general how this works and why it's good. Okay. But for onboarding, absolutely, because I can't just tell someone go buy an NFT, right? Because there's in our ecosystem on our platform, like that's the first step, and then you have to do some other stuff to see any value from it. Like you have to pair that NFT to our node network, and you need to understand what that means and how to do it. And so, like, it's not the most challenging thing, but it's not easy for everybody. Like you could do it, it would be intuitive. I can do it, it'll be intuitive. But general, just regular fan is probably gonna need someone to hold their hand. If the artists know how to do that, amazing. If we do it in Discord, great.
Yeah. So I know we talked about it a little bit earlier. But what would like currently do you roughly the cost of someone to onboard into the Gala music ecosystem? Like if they wanted to participate, the NFT cost, is it a new mint NFT or is it secondary now? Or what is
all
it?
on secondary on OpenSea right now. But the new mints we drop tracks on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the baseline, so our bronze tier is like that emerging tier. Basically everyone up through, even in some cases over 1 million monthly Spotify. We do those 100 tracks at $100 per track. So it'd be $100 to get the entry level NFT. And then someone like Jordan will sell more NFTs for slightly higher price. Kings of Leon will probably be a step up from that. And so there's sort of different tiers to it.
Okay. That it's an interesting piece that it sort of pulls, for different people to do different things. What do you see as like the next step? I guess what like more artists? You said almost a self-serve, but do you think that the entire ecosystem is going to be moving to a listen to learn or listen to earn, and the artist side of that too?
Yeah, I think there's room in there for people. Like there will be mechanisms for, if you come on as just a fan and you're listening, is there more in it for you than just listening to like the exclusive music and stuff like that? And so we're working on things like that. The big next steps are releasing our All Access store, which is launching in the next couple of weeks. And that'll be the real utility use case for, earning beams. Like that's why you want the NFTs. That's why you want the nodes to have access for this stuff. Then the mobile app obviously is massive. That shouldn't be too long from now. Yeah. So there's always things you're building onto, right? Like maximizing the platform, making it more gamified. So there's different stuff that you can do on there, things that make people want to hang out and make it fun. But the All Access is that's the next big one.
Okay. And then I know there was a recent upgrade on the Gala token as well. Claim system from a V1 to V2 type of thing. Have you had a little bit of issue with users coming, back and forth on that?
I haven't seen any of that on my end. But that's something that would probably be addressed on the game side because they're the more tech driven, like that's where like Jason is, and he's the president of blockchain over there. So he does all those like interviews and informational pieces and stuff. Like obviously something that affected us because you can buy our tracks right now with the Gala token. But shortly we're going to have our own token. So yeah.
Beans.
Right now,
or is Beans just a placeholder name?
Beams are just the placeholder. So yeah, once we launch the new token, the existing beams will then transfer over into the new token.
Okay. All right. Is it going to carry the same name?
No, the token will have a different name, which I cannot share. Okay. Secrets. It's all secrets. Because if I told you, you would go try to like steal a website name or something. I don't know. People like secrets.
It's the token's not called Taco, is it?
It should be called Taco, right? That's what the chain should have been called. Right? It should be called Taco Chain. Yeah, I don't know.
And then
some of the team doesn't take me that seriously. Like they don't understand the impact that people like us are having out here. They don't get it. Are you on Solana at all? Yeah. It's been a bit since I was on there.
You need to send me your Solana wallet address.
Okay.
So I can send you a piece of a Taco token.
There's a Taco token.
I will send you a Taco.
What?
I have Taco token couple chains.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will absolutely do that. Yeah, I've got my Phantom wallet.
Yeah, we have Taco on Solana and on Neo.
We need more.
I've earned them on other chains. Yeah, Neo. I've been on Neo for a couple of years. They upgraded their chain in 2021. They rewrote their entire Genesis, reissued their entire Genesis block so that smart contracts could be written in like JavaScript, C#, C++, as well as Solidity, Viper, and Rust. So like they were just sort of making it so that their environment could be accessible by any developer. And so I think that was sort of cool. And there's a big, I want to say mystification that, you know, to be an artist or create something on blockchain, you have to know code, especially, you know, and I think musicians get freaked out by that as well. And I'm like, there's platforms where literally you can click and drag and drop a song and it will turn it into an NFT to launch.
Yeah, it's easy now.
You know?
We do all that on our platform for artists. So they just give us the cover art or whatever that they're using for that stuff, and then the track, and we build it all. But yeah, there's places you can go now. There's no reason why I shouldn't be dropping my own songs on all the different platforms.
Yeah, or at least your art.
Sure, I should be releasing my art. I'm so stupid.
No, I think it's one of those things to where it's like, do as I say, not as I do, you know?
Yeah.
Where we give everyone this great advice of doing these things and teaching them how to do it. But then we don't do it ourselves.
Yep.
You know, I think that's one of those things to where we sort of shortchange ourselves. So, yeah, I don't know, man. All right. So, man, you have been here for a minute with us, and I want to thank you for taking the time.
I don't even honestly don't even know when I joined this thing. It's 1:15.
I want to say like 2 hours ago.
Let me man,
you're like, what meetings have I missed?
Uh-oh. You might be, that might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been at least that long, because my interview with Girl in the Verse was at 10 and I talked to her for like 45 minutes. Yeah, so it's been like 2 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of these things just fly by. Like I guess I'm lucky, because I think there's probably some people in this position, like community managers or whoever, who like they have to do like spaces or they have to do interviews, and it's like a drag, and they're like, oh my God, I have to spend. I like it. Like if you're in a space just hanging out and it's an hour and a half, or in this case, 7 hours, like I'm not having a bad time. So I don't notice it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's part of the community. There's some spaces you're just like, can this be over yet? And other times you're like, oh my gosh, that was 2 hours and they're closing it down. And you're like, oh, you know?
Yeah. I think it depends a bit on what's going on. Like we did like a community roundtable type thing on Monday, and in Discord, it ended up going like 4 hours, and people were in there like the whole time, and it never felt like it was that was long. But at the end of it, you're like, what did we just do? This was half of a day, guys. Like, you have jobs, right? Yeah. Sometimes they're great. Yeah. Sometimes there are spaces where you're like, okay, wow, I can't believe how fast that 20 minutes went by. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. So, I guess, final thoughts on everything. Call to action.
Yeah. Final thoughts. I saw that you were doing a space, and so I hopped into it, and it turned into a 2 hour chat on StreamYard. And this is, I shouldn't admit this. This is cool that you can watch the live video from this in Twitter. I have not done this before, but I need to figure it out, obviously, because it's so smart. Like we do our weekly show that we were just doing it on YouTube, but now we're putting it on Twitter because of course you should also be putting it on Twitter. Yeah. I'm still learning. We're all still learning. So this was good. Final takeaways. StreamYard's cool.
StreamYard's fun. Huge shout out to StreamYard. They've been a really cool partner for me. They brought me on as an ambassador, so I got a discount and I get to promote them and help other people sign up with them. If you so want to sign up, let me know and I will send you my link.
We've been using we use Riverside for the interviews, which is like a podcasting recording thing, which has been fine. I don't even know how you got this onto Twitter. Is it like an integration with Twitter? I don't know how any of this worked. You were just like, yeah, we're gonna switch to video, and this happened. I don't know. That's cool.
So I have this streaming right now to 2 YouTube channels, LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter, and a Telegram channel.
Huh. So
and
what?
If I wanted to, I could feed it into a Discord.
So can you tell right now what the audience is across those channels? How many people are watching this?
No. Sometimes the LinkedIn is a one-way feed. I think we have some people in Twitch watching. We had some people in and out from YouTube. Twitter, because Twitter rugged us 3 times, it's had to restart the room and stuff like that. So where I go back and I see and then if people are watching it on Twitter, just the video, I don't get to see that until you go and look at the video and stuff like that, Yeah. So I know yesterday we had 70 plus people come in and out of the room and stuff like that and listen, and then we had a bunch of people re-listen to it, which is always cool. I'm always grateful for everyone that re-listens and feels that rather than going to something live, they want to come listen to what I'm ranting about, Yeah.
That's always super fun. We get that with our spaces a lot where there'll be 12 people in the room live, but you look back a week later and it'll be 300 people listen to it. They weren't there for it and they wanted to go back and check that out, which is always oh, that's fun. So we're streaming everywhere right now. Yeah.
There's a couple other, and we are streaming, but it's not an analytic I can track, but in my metaverse now, in my 3 lands room that I'm building out slowly.
I hope this wasn't terrible. Whoever's watching this, I didn't do any prep. This was totally spur of the moment.
No, and it's weird because this is the second show. Normally I'm late at night, and as I like to build this as the best worst Twitter show on the face of the planet. It's consistently inconsistent, I guess, but it's daily. As I like to say,
daily that's insane.
Yeah. And it's weird. So we're on episode 301, but on Twitter, it's billed as 301.3 because, we've been rugged 3 times. Or 2 times, so I remember one time I was on a drive and I got to episode 0.8 and I was just Twitter just does not want to work today. Or I think it was because I was driving in and out of canyons while doing hosting a Twitter space. I don't know. But I don't know. This is just one of those things where it's really fun. And I do the video and I poured it in because if I'm building something or I'm walking through a platform, if you're just listening to it, you don't really actually see it. But, walking through and showing how to do something new provides that content, I think, Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, this is good. I like having the video aspect of it. Like how some podcasts will have video and maybe you're watching it on your walk and you don't see it, but you can check it out later.
Yeah. And what's really cool is I can butcher this up and I can port it right into like TikTok streams and Instagram reels, and it's just really cool way to make new content and distribute it. I wish there was StreamYard sort of gives me that platform to disperse into as many platforms as once, but I wish it made it easy to like upload as a podcast to like Spotify and elsewhere,
Yeah.
So, but
yeah.
All right. So we're gonna end this space the way we end every single episode. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Taco.
Yeah. But first, I need to tell everybody we're doing a Twitter space with Emily from September morning, an hour from now, 2:30 Eastern. She's dropping today. Man. She's dropping an NFT on Gala today at noon, and then 3, and then 1 is the public release Pacific time.
All right.
I'm Eastern time. They talk in Pacific time. All this is happening.
Man, for one team, I was like, can we just go to UTC?
I wish we would. Half of our team is in the UK and half is on the Pacific, and there's 2 of us who are East Coast who are in the middle trying to like balance between these 2 teams. It's madness.
Yeah, man. Anything upcoming in New York?
Yeah, we'll be doing a film thing in New York.
When? Where? How do I go?
It will be sometime between August and October.
Okay. That's
we don't have the details
window.
yet. We don't have the details yet, but when we do, we'll let you know. Yeah.
All right.
And Gala Music may also be at a festival in New York in, I think, August.
All right. Cool. Does that mean you'll be there?
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, I'll be there. I have managed to convince them that I have value at events.
Can't
believe they fell for this. Like for like content creation, or just as a brand ambassador talking to people we're doing. I think I bring value.
I think you bring value too.
It's not just because I want to go to events. It's crazy because like something like VCon is such a cool conference, but like I don't get to enjoy VCon. I'm working literally the whole time. Like I don't know what anybody else is doing. I didn't go to any of the talks. And so people think it's like, oh, you're just going to hang out, but it isn't like that at all.
No. I've worked a couple booths at a couple conferences, and one, you lose your voice real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I always have a pack of Ricola, and you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. So like to booth workers, I salute you. I think one of the best conferences was the Metaverse Expo in July of last year by TCG World. There was some sort of marketing issue where the dates of it were off by like 2 days that were promoted versus when it was actually happening. So like everyone was there day 1, and then the crowd super thinned out day 2 and day 3. But what was cool about that was that since there was like times when there was like almost no one there, as a booth, you could walk to all the other booths, and me being like the biz dev hyperconnector, I was like going and talking to every single booth, and I was like, hey, you're looking for this. There's this project 2 rows over that provides that, and you should go talk to them. And then they would be able to send someone out and go like explore and do that. And so I think that was almost like an industry type of conference in a way. Mm-hmm. So shout out to TCG World for that.
I like that biz dev super connector.
Hyperconnector.
Hyperconnector. Biz dev.
Yes.
Yeah.
Taco, come on.
All right. We've been on the stream for 7 hours. What do you want?
Yeah, I know. All right. So you have a space in an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Emily Lazar.
Yep.
Is dropping a new track today.
Yep.
September morning. I I've had a September morning since like last year. Randomly just like came across it and I was like, that's cool. You know.
Yep.
And then it just turned into this stream of like connecting with Emily and like sharing stages with her and like listening to her and like, man, talk about someone who can scream and, you know, hold the conversation.
Yeah, I don't think she gets enough credit. Like, first of all, like the music is good. Like it isn't just like a shtick where this is a character and also there's a band. Like they're a legit, really good band, which I love. She is so smart and so driven. And I think you might make the mistake of seeing her or seeing September Morning and being like, there's no chance. But like she really gets it. And the whole space and her business mind, and she's just so smart about all of it. I'm super, super impressed with her as like a person on top of being really nice. Like I went to one of the shows recently and she's like spent time hanging out and it was just like really good to just like be with her on a personal level, on a business level. Yeah. I use her as like an example for artists coming to the space. Like just go do what she's doing. Just follow her and look at how she spends her time and her energy because she's amazing.
Yeah. One of I got a shout out to someone on YouTube who Taco. This is amazing. You know, so shout out to the worst Wafu. You know,
I'm pretty sure I'm going to see them in Atlanta in a couple of weeks. There's a community event in Atlanta the weekend of the 24th. I'm flying down. Pretty sure that's happening.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, you've tried to do the outro 8 times and I keep interrupting you.
No, this is amazing piece. I want to respect your time because you know, I'm, you know, I get to just talk to you. You have to go like, you know, manage something and make sure everything you can do to succeed. So if I'm gonna come and just be a heckler and try to do whatever I can in the space to have a great time, you know. But Emily, she is a boss, and like I think it's just like because me and her had been connected on so many spaces, and she had just flown across the country to New York that she was like, she DM'd me. She's like, "Here's my cell phone number. Text me." And I was like, okay. And then she's like, you're going to be at come see me tomorrow. And then we couldn't have, that was just the perfect, oh my God, like that could not, oh my gosh. I have to find this and I don't even know where this video is. I have to share this video again because it was like the best. Is it on your page or is it on her page?
I think it's on the Gala Music page, but she definitely also shared it. The chances of us, we had just gotten there that day and we're walking through for the very first time and see her. And it's like, oh, I need to hang out and talk to Emily. The timing of all that would have been impossible on top of all the other stuff.
Yeah. Like this is where we're like, what is going on here? Let's see. April. Man, you guys post a lot of stuff. Interviews with Jordan Sparks. What, you know, Yo Poppy. You guys put out a ton of cool content. And you guys drop Medium articles to really explain and go in depth and listening parties.
We're trying to.
You know, and really. Okay. I've been scrolling for a minute and I'm just now in May.
Should we slow down on the content? Maybe. I don't know.
No,
like we do a bunch of spaces. Like we're doing like 3 spaces this week. Like, and there's a lot of like, don't forget about stuff.
There's you. There's a big old picture of you without a beard. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't like this isn't intentional. This is just me being lazy when my beard grows out a little bit. I just don't have time to shave it. I don't actually have a preference one way or another. It's just wherever you hit me in the cycle of every 2 weeks, I'll shave and then it'll grow out, then I'll shave again.
All right. So here's a question I have to ask you. This is maybe, and you can say no.
Oh,
but
Christ.
one, everyone is surprised because they always see me in a hat. And I posted a photo one time of me not in a hat. And someone was like, oh my God, I didn't recognize you for a minute without a hat on. And so when I take my hat off, people are surprised that I have a head full of hair.
Right.
Is that it? Is that covering up something?
Oh, so this answer has 2 parts. Do you have time to get into it right now?
Okay.
We're gonna get.
I do.
We're gonna start by getting a little bit heavy for a second. Okay. So I had a kidney transplant 9 years ago. The whole ordeal was a lot. It doesn't really come up a lot, but it's a thing about me. I take anti-rejection meds daily, and those anti-rejection meds make me like 100 times more likely to get skin cancer. So I've already had like a bunch of surgeries for it. And so I wear a hat every day just because I'm in the habit of, I need to be covering my skin. So if you see me at like events and I'm wearing like a sweatshirt and it's like too hot to wear a sweatshirt, that's why I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Like, I'm not a crazy person. I'm just trying to cover up. And so that's why I wear a hat. The second part of the question is like, I'm absolutely crazy bald, right? But I'm not covering up my baldness with a hat. There's a couple of different kinds of bald people in the world, right? There's the kinds who they go bald and it freaks them out and they can't deal with it, right? It's too much to function as a bald man in this world. It never bothered me. My dad was bald. My grandfather was bald. It's super low maintenance. And I also happen to have like a perfectly shaped head. And so I'm like Jason Statham, like it looks good on me. And so like some people go bald and it isn't a good look and they have to struggle with it, but I look good and I don't have to get haircuts. And so, yeah, that's a great question though, because a lot of people like, I've been to a million weddings and there's always like that guy who wears a hat at weddings and it's because he's bald and he's like embarrassed. And it's like, but you look weirder wearing a hat like at this wedding. So yeah, I get it. I am covering my baldness, but not because of the baldness.
So I one of these days I would love to get more into that story of the transplant and that story piece there, because I love hearing people's story and stuff like that. If that's something you're willing to share, and that journey and piece.
Sure.
Me personally, I used to shave my head. I am gifted with that perfectly shaved head as well. I actually had skin cancer. And I had to have a spot on the side of my head removed and cut out. And I was told because of my fair skin temperament that Doc was like, you might want to just sort of grow hair. It helps you a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, plus you're going to regret it later on in life, not having pictures of you all the time with hair. And I was like, oh, okay. But I actually am overdue for a haircut because this, like, I have this weird saying, like, if I can tell what side of the bed I slept on, it's too long. But things are just so crazy. I haven't had a time to actually go get a haircut. I actually might go get a haircut today. I've been trying to be doing a little bit more healthy things. So I hate Dan the Lost Boy. And to give context, because he's not here to defend himself, the reason why I hate him so much, and I post it that I hate him, and every time I see him on a Twitter space, I open up with, Dan, I hate you so much. And he's like, wait, give context, is because he got me into this 5-minute run thing.
Mm-hmm.
So every day I try to run for 5 minutes. I don't always do it.
Yeah.
But you know, 5 minutes of hating Dan, you know, and so being a little healthier, taking care of myself, it's really easy to sort of just because stuff is nonstop. So, yeah. I found this video. So we're going to do this video and then we're going to do our outro. So you can get ready to go prep for Emily's space and drop and go eat some tacos.
I should probably eat something.
This is going to be right. All right. Boom. Let's get this full screened and we're going to start this from the get-go. And all right. Sound that on.
Yeah, you can tell I'm bald through the back of my cap there.
Yeah. I love that. I can watch that so many times.
It feels so staged.
I couldn't. Oh my gosh! Like, and everyone was like, "Did you plan this?" And I was like, and like, for those that don't know and watch this later, Emily had just flown for like 8 hours. And like was doing stuff. She was like talking with fans the entire flight. She didn't sleep. It was overnight flying into New York and stuff. So it was like 4 or 5, like 4 o'clock in the morning. She was like, I just landed in New York. And I'm like, I'm 2 hours behind you on the plane right now, you know? And so then she's like, have you landed yet? And I was like, yeah, text me. Yeah. But I know she like, because like I asked her, I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, like, OTEP was headlining for her on her recent tour, you know." And it's hilarious that OTEP has gone from that to this, but like that, you know, that just goes to show how big an unsung hero she is. Like she's a yeah. But like it was like the guy that, you know, his name started with a D, I think. Her friend that was like helping her out and stuff.
Is it Rich?
It might be Rich. I was thinking Degen for some reason, but it might be Rich. Yeah, because he was like Player One Taco is what he said his name was, because he was like, wait, what do you do? And I was like, I talk about people. I know people. I do whatever, you know, I help grow other things, you know? So yeah, they're like,
it was like before, like while we were waiting for her to finish talking to you, Scott, who was with me, was like, does she know you? Like, is she gonna, and I'm like, oh, absolutely. Like 100%. And we walk over and she's like, I don't know who you are. That's Taco. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now I feel small.
you ran with it, and it went like, yeah, it's like people were like, Bucks had to confirm with me, you didn't set that up, did you? And I was like, nope. You know, because I was like, I was talking with someone, I was like, this amazing person that I know that, you know, personally, is like saying that I'm like running their drop, and like, did I agree to something and not remember it? You know, am I just like, I got to figure this out. Because I was like, yeah. But all right. So, yeah, that was just, she is an amazing person. So this will be, you guys are going to kill it today.
Yeah, she's great. She's so good. Even on top of what we're doing, like everything she does is amazing.
Is this a scheduled space?
Yep.
Let's see. All right. Oh, I found it. We're retweeting it. And for those that are joining us across the multiple platforms, here is the link to it. Even if you're not able to make it, please go retweet, comment, like, and here's some alpha. If you retweet it and then you quote retweet it, it gets it out twice as much, and helps the algorithms of the Twitters and the things, you know. So please share that in your communities. Do that as a favor for Taco and Taco, because it's taco time, you know. So we're going to end this as we end every broadcast. This is how we've ended every show, all 301 episodes now. Taco, you gave your final thoughts, your closing thoughts. Come join the space in an hour, not even an hour, 45 minutes from now. So 10 seconds, words of wisdom.
Since we're on these streaming platforms, my words of wisdom are just go to these spaces and watch these streams, because you'd be surprised at how many people you can meet and connect with. All the people who I'm connected with now in Web3, it's through a Twitter space or something like that. And so people say, oh, how do I get involved? How do I meet people? How do I connect? It's that. Just go to these spaces and check things out, and you're going to meet people.
Yeah. And, you know, people say like you're all behind like a PFP. You know, I wear my PFP on my backpack. I have that electronic billboard backpack, you know, from Orbis 86. And I have a lot of my NFTs on it, and my PFP is one of them. And so when it cycles through, and if someone's behind, they're like, are you Taco? I saw your PFP and I swear that was you. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, it's you. So yeah. As I end with my words of wisdom, a closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth. Meaning, if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity cannot come a knocking. And if opportunity comes a knocking and you don't answer, it will keep on walking. And we're going to end this broadcast with the same joke, the most amazing joke on the face of the planet. So this is the best joke. This is how we've ended every episode. It's done out of love for those that are joining for the first time, including you, Taco.
Yeah.
So stick around. This is fun getting to have you be part of this joke. Are you ready for it?
Let's go.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?